Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures back to positive territory this morning as markets take a step back, kind of digest the latest batch of quarterly earnings out. Whole bunch of earnings reports to get through this morning. We have a number of names moving in the pre-market as a result. Markets also kind of taking a step back from the energy group today. Crude oil back in negative territory, coming off the highs from the pre-market, but some of the individual stocks faring a little bit better than crude oil itself. Last I checked was down around $11 per barrel. Big earnings to get through this morning, as I mentioned, from Netflix. We have Chipotle. We have the first of the airlines reporting. Delta out this morning with earnings. On the data front this morning, Canadian inflation data out at 8:30 came in actually a little bit lower than expected, 0.9% versus 1.2% expected. And it's Wednesday. Crude oil inventories coming up at 10:30 this morning. Asian markets were mostly higher overnight. Europe's open, trading in positive territory as well. It's Wednesday, April 22nd. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at North American markets here. Futures heading towards the open. You can see crude at the bottom up, significantly this morning, 11%. Had a recent move to the upside. Was basically flat when I sat down this morning. S&P 500 almost 2% to the upside, heading towards the open. The Dow, the NASDAQ, nicely higher as well. TSX futures here in Toronto also obviously heavily tied to the energy markets, pointing to a 2+% gain. Brazil's open, trading slightly higher, and Bitcoin back to the upside this morning as well. Interesting earnings to get through this morning. We had Netflix, obviously the big one, out after market yesterday, guys. Big move up, but all the way back down once again this morning.
Yeah, I mean,
logo.
We were talking, actually, right before we went on air, we were talking a little bit about Netflix here. And, one of the things that we were considering was you get that number and they kind of snitched on themselves, being very, very honest about the outlook and saying a lot of those subs that they gained possibly were going to go away when you had the lockdowns end. And on top of that, people that were going to get it have already picked it up. So you might have a little bit of that as well. It's interesting to me. I sort of look at the fact that they have all of their production done for early 2021, whereas you don't see new content coming in on a lot of the other sites like a Disney. So if that's the case for them, what does that mean for Disney if they're expecting to lose subs over this and they're going to have fresh content and Disney's not? So I kind of lean both ways on Netflix today in that I'm just going to sort of go where the winds take me. I don't have an overall bias. I do think that's a bit of a weak sign, but relative to the other streamers, they still look like they're in a pretty decent spot. So I had some levels that I was looking at Netflix. Weak support at 415. We're right in the middle of the range, unfortunately. 25 to 33 is going to be an interesting point because if it holds there long enough without a break to the upside, with the market looking pretty strong today, it's going to be hard for me not to sell it.
Yeah, no, Netflix is going to be a good one today. There's bumping up a bunch of different levels. Snapchat, we know, is a big mover as well. Here we go. We'll hit the Snapchat little icon here. Let me call it up quickly for you guys before we go back to Brendan. We are going to talk all about these names and give you guys some key levels. Thank you for joining us today. If it's your first time, hit the subscribe button. We need to get to 10,000 subscribers before we start selling some merch. So if you guys can do that, that would be fantastic. More to come on that one. $15 bouncing off against that here on Snapchat. It does flush down to $14.70. But look, I love Snapchat today, up 20%, guys. Let's rock and roll on that one, Brendan.
Yeah, nice numbers out for Snapchat. Netflix as well, also going to be an interesting one. We have Alex Bowles joining us from the Neo Exchange coming up in a couple of minutes here in Toronto. Let's head over to the desk first and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning and hello everyone. Welcome to the live trading show. I wish you a great trading day and all of us here to make it even better. Guys, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for our channel. We are preparing a lot of interesting stuff for you, including educational series. You don't want to miss that. So hit the subscribe button and I see you later. Back to guys.
All right, yeah, lots to get to this morning. We'll kick things off with Alex Bowles from the NEO Exchange here in Toronto. Obviously, a nice recovery in the energy markets. We mentioned off the top this morning that the Toronto market heavily tied to the energy group. A lot of names in that space. So nice little 2% bump there for the TSX futures heading towards the open. We'll see how things are shaping up as far as volumes in the energy group with Alex coming up there. There we go. Alex, good morning. How are you on this Wednesday?
Good morning, Brandon. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Busy morning once again, obviously. I was just mentioning, we see a nice little recovery over the past couple of days here in the energy markets. How have things been as far as the energy names on the NEO Exchange over the past couple of days?
Yeah, yesterday was definitely one of the unprecedented days in terms of what we've seen, especially in the oil space. The names this morning are all energy related. I think yesterday's increase in market share on TSX names is directly correlated to the trading and the activity in the energy and oil space. One really interesting one that I have from yesterday was Horizons. It's an ETF product. I know that's maybe a little bit outside of the user group wheelhouse. It's the Beta Pro Crude Oil 2x Daily Bull ETF. And what it does is it tracks the movement of crude oil either up or down. In this case, up. It was the Bull ETF, and it's 2x leveraged. That yesterday had a really rough day, a lot of volatility on that one, and then the corresponding one, HOD, by conversely it tracks the oil movement upwards, 2x leverage. That was definitely something that we did see a lot of activity on yesterday. We know that HOU had a really rough time, and actually the corresponding one, HOD, temporarily suspended subscription agreements because they were just blowing the fund up. So definitely something to keep an eye on today on that one as well. Other ones that we saw a lot of action on were Baytex Energy, 22% of the overall trading on that one. Cenovus Energy, 9% there. Crescent Point Energy, 16%. And then obviously the Horizons ETF we saw yesterday as well. So definitely volatile times. Will be very interesting to see what today brings.
Yeah, we'll see if we can't get a little bit of support coming into energy markets. Obviously, the past couple of days, very, very negative. As far as cannabis names are concerned, we did note yesterday there was a little bit of a pause after a couple of days of interesting action in that space. Any cannabis names popping up for you this morning?
Yeah, the usual suspects for sure. We've got Agriflora as well, and then Aurora as well. So those two always kind of pop up on our map. We do very well on both the venture and the CSE space. Yesterday we were around 13% of the CSE, and on the venture around 14%. So continue to be strong in those. We always have cannabis names in our top 10, but we've seen a lot more in the recent days, a lot more energy. And with the new trend of psilocybin names coming in there, we see a few more of those Champignon brands. Of course, our own NEO-listed one, MindMed, comes up a lot more as well. So we're definitely seeing some emergence of new sectors, but it seems like the hot topic for the time being is oil and energy.
We'll go back to the energy market here quickly, Alex. You mentioned the ETFs. We very rarely, as you said, speak about ETFs. Is it something that you've noticed, coming in on the inverted space or on the passive side as far as the volume is concerned?
Yeah, yesterday we saw a lot of that action done in our L book. So it mostly looks like it'd be on the passive side for you guys. But definitely something I know that, like you said, it's not really in your normal wheelhouse day to day. But, with the announcement yesterday of them temporarily suspending subscriptions, and, if you take a look at those charts, HOU and HOD yesterday, they're the complete mirror reflection of one another. One goes off a cliff and one goes straight up a cliff. So there's definitely some opportunity there. And, we did see tons of traffic yesterday. We did north of, I think, 4 million shares just on that one ticker HOU. And that was, only 5% of the overall trading on that security. So definitely a lot of action out there. There's a lot of orders looking to be filled. So maybe something for some of your user groups to take a quick look at.
And you said, just to clarify, Alex, both of those are 2-time leveraged ETFs.
Absolutely, yes. So definitely be mindful of, the risk associated with that. When the market goes up once, it actually goes up twice on the fund.
Great stuff. Great information as always. Alex Bowles from the NEO Exchange. We'll speak to you again next week.
Thank you very much, Brandon. Have a great day.
There we go, guys. A little bit of a look at the NEO Exchange. Some interesting, names to speak about there. If you're looking at the Canadian landscape, a couple of ETFs to follow along the energy market. In oil, we saw USO, obviously in the U.S. doing almost 1 billion shares on the day yesterday. So HOU and HOD here in Toronto, two names that you can look at as well to follow along in the energy space. Let's move on to the first name we'll get to this morning, Netflix, obviously the big one, reporting, as we mentioned, after market yesterday. Net additions as far as streaming clients came in well above. That was a big number for Netflix, 15.8 million, far higher than the 8.2 million that was expected. The company now has 183 million global paying subscribers. Worth noting, guys, the per share number, $1.57, was actually slightly below estimates. We mentioned, big move up in the aftermarket yesterday. We're all the way back down this morning. What do we think of Netflix, guys?
I feel bad for the people that bought it at 480. That's what I feel. I talked a little bit about this, some of the levels I was looking at, certainly on that kind of weakness. As a longer term play, I mean, you do think, I do think that they are relatively good when it comes to the streaming space for the reasons outlined, like talking about their full catalog when it comes to shows being in production. That being said, you're going to tell people that they're going to lose subscribers or not have the same growth in the future, and that's their expectation when no one else is giving any guidance, and you're going to get beaten up for it. So you're going to give it a little bit back here, and that's why I talked about that 425 to 33 range. And if we can't get out of that way, that might end up being a short opportunity for me in front of that level. If we take it out in the morning, fantastic. We can get back to those that 445, 450 area, what we basically were opening up at in the pre-market yesterday. So that's the first level you're looking to the upside. I think that'll be a good one. Sean, I don't really want to get your opinions, but you made a guess, and we didn't get to the numbers, but I got to show you guys this. Sean, obviously, it was an easy to be able to say that the top traders in the company by market was going to lead with the Amex. Everyone's seen what's been happening in USO and oil. 162,000 the trader was able to pull out of the Amex, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it was probably trading in USO. NASDAQ came in at 60,000, New York at 40,000. You can see the numbers here, fantastic. We like to review these throughout the day, but we can't sleep on USO, the volume and volatility that it's had.
Explode the money, $162,000 there.
US dollars.
For one trader. Yeah, that's not an office, guys. That's one trader, yeah. $162,000 US dollars. You want to be part of the team, join us at daytradetheworld.com. You guys can find that out. That's who we use. That's the trading platform we use is PPRO8. Hit that subscribe button, guys. We'll be back here every single day. Netflix, look, 430. I love that break here. I wrote down 431 just to be careful. That's this little actionable spike here, 431 on Netflix. You have the bottom of 422. Look, if they want to sell this thing, they'll sell it, and we'll have to watch out for that 422 level. But you give it about $10 worth of room. I think that's pretty worth it here. You could easily get back into this 450 range. I don't see any reason why we don't take out yesterday's top here. Well, I mean, it wasn't the top, but in the afternoon, 443. I didn't want to call up the daily chart because if we do head southbound, guys, there's these huge levels here at 385, 390-ish. So we topped off here 385 again, and then we bounced around 390 back in early March, late February. So these are the levels that I really do like on Netflix. And yeah, I mean, if we can crash down to 380, 390, I'm a buyer like crazy. But if it doesn't get to those levels, then I think I'm a bull above, like I said here, 430-ish. So it might get there before open. We only have 17 minutes. Let's see what happens. The ES now busting through that 2780 level, which is nice. Look at the market just climb here on oil's resurgence. Yep. Brendan, you mentioned that the last time you saw oil there was 11.
Nope.
Yeah, we're at 7. We're up 17% at $13.50 now for crude, guys.
Sean, worth mentioning on Netflix, these are the days when it comes to Netflix that this thing can move, $10, $20 if it really wants to get going. We've seen it many times in the past, typically around an announcement or around some sort of news. When it comes to the daily range today, I think we have to be mindful of the fact that, if you are in the right direction on this thing, worth holding some. What do you think?
I mean, it's off earnings, right? And so we can always go back and check out what the past earnings plays were, what the volatility was. I actually didn't do that. It's a fantastic question. But like I said, it's just about risk reward. I mean, we don't have a crystal ball and don't really know where this thing can go. But you see what happened yesterday, 434 all the way up, like Neil said, to 480. So that's a $50 move in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So do we have possibility for this thing to blow higher? Of course. But I think you just use the levels. And I mean, that's the key thing here. If you break down through 422, you may go go to 400. I mean, if we look again, this is the kind of high level stuff that you guys want. If you break through 420 here, the next level, we opened 410, then it was 400, then the day before that was 370. So some of these days, Brendan, are $30 or $40 worth of moves in there. So on earnings, is it possible? Yeah, and I mean, $30 move on a $400 name, you're only looking at 7-8% there. So I think we can do that today for sure.
All right, guys, let's go on to the next one here. Delta, first of the airlines to report earnings. They posted a smaller than expected pre-tax loss for their latest quarter of $607 million, but did give obviously a very bleak forecast going forward for not only this quarter, but the remainder of 2020, pointing towards the coronavirus as a reason, obviously. CEO Ed Bastian said second quarter revenue could fall as much as 90%. We've seen that kind of 90% number been floated around when it comes to demand in the airline space as well. But guys, DAL here up 4.3%, smaller than expected loss, obviously.
Yeah, and on top of that, they're looking to aggressively cut costs so they can weather as long as they can. I think it was like they're trying to cut by half their monthly expenses and their burn rate. So those are all positive signs. I think all of the airlines were up except for United, of course, because they went to the market to be able to secure some capital there. But I like Delta. I kind of was looking at support levels first rather than breakouts, just because I thought we'd get a chance at some consolidation. And as I say that, we're bouncing towards the pre-market high. So, I had 27.35 as the first area I was looking at. I thought if it gets down to 23.30, there's almost no way I wasn't going to be a buyer at that price. Now we're looking at the actual top, 24.22. I'll probably lay off busting into this one at 9.30. One thing that I've learned the last few weeks or so, maybe even just the last week and a half, the patience game for some of these plays has been the way to go. The first 5 minutes hasn't been what it was, say, 2 to 3 months ago when you're trading some of these plays. You get these snap moves, and if you like it to the long side, sometimes being patient and waiting for your price and the levels you like is a little bit better.
I love this stock hella long today, and Delta Airlines, you're going to see a short squeeze. I've called them before and been right, so let's see if this happens today. Delta's been getting crushed, obviously. They come out, the report wasn't that bad. You can see up 5% here. Good little movement to the upside here. I wrote down 24.10. I mean, I do this research too early, so that when the levels break, it's game over. But right now, 24.10 is the level. We just broke it. 24.20 to the upside. Check out the daily chart, guys. This is exactly what we're talking about. You're bunched up right here. It looks like we're trying to break out of this range. 24.35. I get this is probably pretty hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom it back in. What does that look like on the screen? Okay, it doesn't look bad. We're getting covered up there a bit, but 25.50. This is that level. 24.52, guys, and we might open up right there. So I love Delta long here. I have so many ideas heading into today. I see Asif there talking about it on the chat. Yeah, how are you, by the way? And no, I'm anxious, right? We're anxious about getting this market open because we don't want to miss trades for you guys, and there's so many trades happening today. Delta, Snapchat, and Netflix all are setting up pretty sweet, including Pfizer as well. So there's so many setups today. Thank you for joining us here, guys. This is why you do it at 9 o'clock. We will review some of these trades as the day goes on. We will miss some, but guys, hit us up on the chat to remind us if we're missing any of these setups.
All right, guys, let's go to Snapchat now. Next here, Snapchat posting a 44% year-over-year first quarter increase in profit, and also a 20% year-over-year increase for the first quarter in active daily users. 229 million, big number for Snapchat. So yeah, big move to the upside here, guys, for Snap. 20%. We're right at 15. We've been kind of watching this 15 level here in the pre-market.
Yeah, it's go time on Snapchat. I'm ready to rock and roll on this one. We love Snapchat. I mean, I love it, and it's a great stock to trade when it moves. You're already doing 3 million shares. You're up 20%. The little millennials over there love this stock. It's been bought up by them continuously. Looks like it's going to happen once again today. Snapchat, again, 20% or something growth in users, whatever that number was there, Brendan, is pretty monstrous. 15.05 to the upside here. I love this stock. I don't even really need to do too much work with this. I'm going to go long no matter what. Here it is here, Snapchat. This is the only problem, and Neil indicated this, and we always talk about it. I would already be long. It's just some of these market on open imbalances, and shout out to our friends from the NYSE who came through yesterday, talked all about it. If you can, guys, go back. Hopefully we'll post the interview soon, but you can go back and find that interview yesterday at about 11:50 on our YouTube channel. They talked all about market structure and market on open and balance orders. So here we go. Snapchat, 1 million shares to buy with only 155,000 paired off. So for me, that means we have a whole bunch of shares coming here at the open. Will probably bump this price well above 15. This is the problem. My first trade will probably be light, and then we'll look to average in as I see some of the price action on this name. But we're already, I mean, I wrote down some ridiculous levels down here that already broken through. So we're going to now wait for 15 bucks.
Yeah, sorry, one last thing there. Sean, you talked about why it's a good stock to day trade. Volume is good, but it's a $15 name. No resistance that's big until like $15.90. This stock will move like 2-3 times as much as a relative stock at the same price, which gives you fantastic returns and great liquidity as well.
All right, guys, let's go over to Lyft. Not a huge move in the pre-market, not a lot of volume either, but worth mentioning, I think they withdrew their 2020 guidance when it comes to financial guidance. The company also announced it will reveal a more detailed and specific plan on how they will manage throughout the remainder of this outbreak coming up at the beginning of May. So Lyft is higher here, guys, coming up to $30 once again on this news. I mean, I guess more specifically the plan that is coming for May. But yeah, they withdrew, just another company withdrawing their guidance.
I don't know. Lyft has done 16,000 shares on the daily chart here. It's just really leveling off around this $30 area. I think if it was a sell day, maybe maybe I would be a little bit more interested in it off of that 30 level, but it just, I don't know, the volume not really there. It's not gigantic news for me. I mean, certainly you've seen, if you've been trading heavily, Uber's giving you a little bit more opportunity. So I don't know that I'll be looking at Lyft today. I don't really have any levels other than I'm looking for at some point it to break on a down day, break off of this 30 level. And I think if it pivots below 28, that would be a nice little sell point, but we're not going to get that today. So
yeah, no, I don't even Lyft irrelevant for me today. Check out oil, guys. 20% now, rocking up here. My number one stock over the last month or so has been probably Microsoft still, but XOM has been monstrous. Look at this move straight to the upside. This is what's obviously vaulting the ES here with a little bit of uncertainty, hopefully removing itself from the marketplace and giving some certainty, as who knows about all of these oil plays today. But XOM, you see up 4%. Love this stock breaking through 42.75. The only problem, again, is these market on open orders. We have 9 minutes to go. I love XOM here today long. 42.75 is going to be the call on this one. You don't even have to go back too far to see why XOM has been a monster off this bottom. We did have Kevin O'Leary on the show right around this spot here, believe it or not, and said if oil ever gets going again, we will see a big play in XOM. It doesn't move as much as WLL or Oxy or anything like that, but for me, it's a much better trade. So we're going to wait to see here 42. We get as high as 43.20 the last couple of days, so watch out for 43.25. If you do go long with me, 42.75, you may only get a 50-cent winner or so out of it. The top right here appears to be 43.20. So those of you guys that are asking about XOM, those are my thoughts. Let's pound this long. Again, this is why I'm so anxious. I have so many things written down on this little sheet of paper here, as well as some spreadsheets, that there's so many trades to happen here off the open. I just hope we get the right one.
Yeah, you guys were asking about a Frontline there as well, of course, in the same space, a tanker company. It's up again 2.5%. It is worth a look at that 11 break if you like this one to the long side. Certainly you do see in the afternoon there was a 1080 level which is held all afternoon as resistance and now looks like support. So to you guys that are watching that one, Tyler, that's a good look as well. Fro's been up, multiple days in a row. You can see on the weekly chart.
All right, guys, it'll be interesting to see when it comes to oil, 1030 at the inventory numbers. It's been 3 or 4 weeks in a row of massive builds when it comes to the inventory. So we'll see what happens. We'll let you know, obviously, at 1030. Chipotle, oh hum, blew out earnings once again. This seems to be a trend. They reported first quarter earnings per share $3.08. Or actually beat by $3.08 on $1.4 billion in revenue. Same store sales, guys, up 3.3%. Overall transactions, however, down slightly, 1.4%. Yeah, huge move here for CMG this morning.
Yeah, people talk about the whole V shape This will give you a perfect one here, and we're basically maybe like a few dollars away from the bottom end of its top range, which was 850. It got as high as 940. Of course, this is all going to be back in February, but it's a fantastic move to the upside. The only thing you got to watch out for is now that you're in that top end range and you get that sort of full recovery area, you should probably see a little bit of profit taking, and that's why that 850 test is going to be key, and that could be coming up very closely. That was the only level I was looking at, that 850. If we hold below, there's going to be some profit taking. It's going to have to bust above and do volume above 850 to get a secondary push. But what a great stock it's been.
Okay, I see you there, Robert. Let me see if we can answer your question here. I like Netflix off the open here, and I don't want you guys to miss it either, but we already just broke through. This was a key level once again. I would have already been long, but the open's just been too crazy. I do like Netflix now breaking back above this 432. Looks like we'll get that right off the open, so that's a quick open play. I do like Delta as well. We just went over that, but just to give you that call, because we're only 5 minutes away right here. Delta 24.25. This little break here, we absolutely love that as well. So those are two quick plays for you, as well as my friend Snapchat. Come on, Snapchat. We missed the money on that one. I hope you guys took it. I told Brendan, look, it has the most stars today. I said Snapchat through 15 is going to be my biggest trade of the day, but now it's at 15.20. So we still do like Snapchat, Brendan.
All right, guys. A number of small caps moving around. We'll talk about one to have a look at this morning, SAEX. Little oil services company, exploration company, signed a big monster contract over in Greece. So huge gap to the upside here, 167%. This thing barely trades. Volume is non-existent on a regular basis. So relative volume today through the absolute roof. Love this thing in front of 3 or 320. Neil took all of our pay for shorts this morning, so I won't be in this, but Neil, I hope you'll have this one.
There weren't many, Brendan, to be honest with you. SAEX there, it already gave you a test of that pre-market high at 350, at 325 here, so I think we can use that level initially. It's a strong one. It's not a very large, look, you only have a 5.1 million market cap here. Probably that's changed a little bit as the price is moving around quite a bit, but it's done 3.7 million shares, so the volatility and the volume are both in play. That we like. I'm looking at a test of that 325 off the open. If we can hold that, those are the conditions under which I'm shorting. Maybe even a $3 break for maybe a quarter or half the size that we'd like to take in front of 330. So SAEX will be involved in it. I think we'll probably get some locates a little bit later on, so keep trying, Brendan.
Yeah, I just put my order in for Delta. I don't think it's in too much of a problem here, 24.21. Let's just check out here what is happening with the imbalance locator just to make sure. Yeah, there's Snapchat, so yeah, that's creating a problem for us. That's already pushed it up. I feel so bad, guys, because that $15 level was the one to hit, and we should have done it. And if I would have, maybe you guys would have as well. Netflix dropped, not Netflix, sorry, XOM dropped down here. This was another play, Robert, that I liked, 42.75, but we are coming back down again. You're going to have to watch crude for these plays. So let's stay away from XOM until we let crude open up and see really where the players want to play at for that price there. Netflix, Delta, Pfizer was one. Did we get to Pfizer? I'm not sure we got to it.
No, we did not.
We did not. Yeah, breaking through $37 here. Pfizer had some news, announced to receive regulatory approval on some trials here for some vaccines with another company, biotech, I guess. So right now you're going to see it breaking through 37. It looks great on a daily chart. This is another name here, guys, that Pfizer. Look at this. We've topped up 36.40 here. We break through that. Now we're touching 37 and change. We get as high as 37.85 on a wick, but 37 is the level here, guys. Tick down to that back in January. Then after we break 37, it doesn't come back until now. So you talk about a V-shape in Chipotle. This is very similar here on a daily chart for Pfizer. So I love that $37 level on Pfizer, which we're at right now. And this is what I talk about. I feel like we're going to miss everything here, but only 2 minutes to go. Get your orders in so you can participate in what should be a decent rally here with the Dow going to open up 400 points.
Yeah, I love Pfizer. I love Pfizer on pullbacks. I like Pfizer on breakouts. It doesn't really matter. And even on a swing trade, 35.40 where it bounced from is a huge support level on Pfizer. So I love the move that it's making here. We got about a minute and a half to go. It's probably a good idea to review some of the things that we've talked about going into this little open. Sean talked about crude. You can see that to the upside. He looks looked over at XOM. I'm watching Oxy as well, which is holding the top end of its range. So 13.15 to 13 even is the range that we're looking at before the open. We do have a little bit of support, a base of support. We have not broken out of this little bottom end, however. So you're looking at 13.50, which is going to be a bit of an issue to get through. So your initial long, if you take the breakout through 13.15, you want to take some profit off in front of 13.50 if you're looking over at Oxy instead of an XOM.
Yeah, 422.95 or so, 423 maybe, the bottom here in Netflix. That might get touched here as we get close to the open. Only a minute to go. Still looking for some key levels here. 437 or so, the top of Netflix. That little top here, 435. So maybe we could break 435 off the open, and we'll go long there as well. So only 40 seconds to go. It looks like
Biogen here. Biogen's actually getting towards the bottom of the pre-market here with 302. So that one coming down 8%. And looking to make another move to the downside there. So that one's on the radar, not a stock that usually I'll jump into right away because of those spreads, Sean.
Yep, exactly. And here we go, guys. Neil, get ready. Let's make sure that we hit this properly today. We've been missing the countdown. We only have 20 seconds to go. It's going to be Valeria on the bell. So she's going to answer your questions, take everything after this. But here we go. 10 seconds ago. Netflix off the top here, 435. That's probably what we'll get into right away, guys. So let's watch out for Netflix. Here we go. 5, 4, what's up, Valeria?
3, 2, and 1. Ring that bell. Good job, Valeria. Could be looking at a little bit of Pfizer right away because you have that 37 mark, of course. I'm also watching that SAEX that we talked about. That could be an interesting one as well. I want to see it possibly fail through that 325. But whoa, Pfizer immediately downside. So you're getting a bit of a dip here. I'm looking at this little bottom, 36.60. I really liked 36.40 there on Pfizer. 25 is a major level. I'm not sure we're going to get it. SAEX just triggered to the south side on a 3 even break. So that one heads southbound. I end up picking up 298. We don't take the full low. We talked about saving some for a test of 325 to 330.
Yeah, 170.95. We're already in here, Microsoft. So if you guys want Microsoft with me, we're long 171.53 on Softy right here. We're going to use 171 as our out. So right away, an instant 20 penny winner. Let's wait to see what Softy does. We're long right now, 171.53. The top is this 171.80. Let's see if that breaks it. And here it goes. A quick little 40 penny winner for you guys on Softy. We're not out of it though. Let's wait to see if we can't get some. Actually, we're pretty high up here. 172.22 was the top yesterday. Let's wait to see if we get that. Actually, 2 days ago on Microsoft long, 171.53 right now, guys.
Just saw Snapchat break that down towards that 15 mark and bounce almost instantly. So look, it snapped back. I guess that's the word we're going to use today. That's a pun. The top now is 15.30 if you want it on a break. I got SAEX reversal to the long at that 330 mark. So that one's headed northbound. We're at 333 reversal alongside, but Snapchat just broke through the top there.
Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, bit of a missed opportunity there. It did give you back to that 1480 mark, but we missed out on it. SAEX is a reversal to the long side, now up 200%. I got long. We did a short originally. Now we're long at 33s here, guys. So this one looking relatively strong as it tries to test the top.
Okay, guys, we're finally in. We're into something hot here. So let's see if Netflix wants to go down. We're short 422.60 right now. Okay, this is a quick dollar. We're still short Netflix. You can see with this purple tick here, we're going to give this some room. I mean, look at the bouncing action on Netflix. We'll see. It did go about $1.50 in the money for us. We're going to wait though. 422.60 short on Netflix and long on Microsoft right now. As Microsoft coming downside though, we still have that 171 out. We did take a little bit at 171.80, like I said, for that 30 cents. But here goes Netflix. 422 to the short side. I said there wasn't much room down here. I don't really know where we could go. What's this week? 416. So here we go. Netflix to the downside, guys. Your boys got this one. So let's see what happens here. It's not a chicken dinner yet, but it just ticked down to 418. Let's wait to see if 416 comes through. Short Netflix right now, 423, guys.
And I'm looking at UAL here, and we're going to flush down the toilet. SAEX does not work the breakout long. We got out half in front of 350. It then comes all the way back. It looks like the short is the right way to go, but UAL in this move down futures, we got about 20-30 handles off the open here. I'm looking at UAL, of course, share offering, so weaker name in the space. I'm looking to short this one in front of the pre-market high here. It's come all the way back in after initial move to the upside. So United Airlines is the one we want to be short. I think if it's going to be a stronger day, then Delta is one you want to go long, and Delta right off of the open here, guys, also pulling in rather heavily. So you're seeing it come into that 23.30 range. I was looking for first level support to be down at that price, but I've decided to go short in UAL instead.
Yeah, I love Delta to the long side, and it didn't happen, so that's why you don't take things in the pre-market and you wait to see what's happening. I have Netflix as my out. It's going to be right around here, 428.50, this little tick. So if you see me get out of Netflix, it will be for that $6 loser at about 428 and change. What's up, Brandon?
Snap still going, guys. Twitter also higher this morning, 5.25% up here, 27.20, 27.25, the pre-market high. But nice look for Twitter on that news as well, guys.
Yeah, I love Twitter.
I mean, sympathy play there, of course. Twitter, the entire space being brought up by Snapchat. I think if you missed out, that's a good place to be looking. It is now up 5%. It was 2 or 3 when I was looking earlier. The good news, however, is it hasn't broken through the top. So if you look like this one, you can still pick it up on a breakthrough at 27.25 if we think Snap is going to go. But it just came back to 15.20. So maybe you can get those 15 evens again.
Yeah, we have to wait to see about that Snapchat move there. That's a big move to the downside there on Snapchat. So we still have our Netflix, guys. We're still waiting. I'm down here around 416. Maybe this 417 breaks. Maybe we'll change it to 417, but we're short 422 here. We'll see if we can take a quick $5 on the first half and then regroup on the second. But right now, short Netflix, you can see off this. I like this play. It's resisted the top side a couple times. Maybe it's worth an average in next time it comes up here. But Netflix looking to print lower. Here we go. 419s. If we can crack this 417, we may have a decent winner here. But here comes Netflix to the downside. We're short 423, guys. So this is a nice little play. $4 in the money. This is the biggest move so far on this name. You can see it opens up though. Like it just goes down $4 and then comes right back that same $4. So watch out here for Netflix. Might be a good idea to pair some of this off. What was that bottom? 418.40. Okay, so we'll look at that coming through now, Brendan.
I don't remember who asked about INO, but that just took the top off. I'm working along now. That's up now 10%. So INO to the upside. The only thing I was looking for was a 10 breaks or 11 break. That just happened. But Brendan, what do you got?
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that one. INO and OVO here back to this 1130 area. This line up here, 1130, was from way back when, the last time we traded this. But vaccine-related name, obviously. They had a class action lawsuit resolved in their favor, guys.
Yeah, exactly. So they're up about 11%. I picked this one up at 11. I've added to my position here to be able to get some in the 90s. But look, we're looking for a breakout. We want to give it to about that 1070 range. The market is absolutely running here, guys.
Yeah.
And you see that move that was down in Delta. You see the big move in the NASDAQ if you're watching. That nice little bounce. Delta is still below that opening range here. So this could be a great place to pick it up. It just crossed that VWAP there. I'm going to grab a long here. We wanted long Delta. We gave up on the short in United. Delta's the strong one, so we're picking it up.
Yeah, guys, there's the chicken dinner winner finally. You wanted to trade Robert. There's one for you. I gave you guys Microsoft off the open, and it's an 80-cent winner right now. So we just took it off there for almost $1 on Microsoft. We're still light on it, but we do have some shares left on Mr. Softy here. About 10% of our shares left. We did dump some for even down here, but look at this, guys. 80s, or 90s, sorry. Then we get out 172.30. Our long on Microsoft, 171.50. So a nice little 70-cent winner. Netflix just keeps coming down to that 118.50 spot. I don't know why I don't take that off there. The day could have been huge if I just did that, but we're waiting for it to break down. So I'm going to put an order at 419, sorry. See if we can't pick up half there and then let the rest fly. I don't know why I was waiting for 412. It seems like 419 might be a good spot. We've bounced 3 times off there now, guys. Not loving this Netflix short, so I'm going to try to get out.
Yeah, quick look at oil, guys. You're going to see right here, we're still up rather significantly, but 14 per barrel. And I was looking at Fro, that's of course Frontline. Bit of a dip to the downside. There was some support pre-market at 1080. It's going to give you close to that price. It didn't quite get triggered in. I did add to my position in INO in front of that 1070, so continuing to work that price as good as we can. It's a 1070 out. We're trying to get that breakthrough 11 even. We're also looking at Delta, of course. We picked that one up at 75. So we like both of those names. We're both to the long side, oddly enough, on each. Pfizer was the other one that we were in love with, and we wanted a break of 37. I can tell you that that did not happen. Pfizer coming all the way back down, and I had some good support levels on Pfizer, so I think they could come into play. 36.25 was the first. If we get a base down there, I'll be a buyer of Pfizer. Any chance it gets to 35.40, however, and I'm all in at that price.
Okay, here comes Netflix down to 419 again. I could take this out right now and be quite big with this. $4 in the money, but there it goes. Nice little crack. I did not take it out. We're waiting at 417. This is a $5 winner right now for Netflix, so let's see if this can come down. I'm waiting down here around 417-ish. I really hope I'm not missing an opportunity to take out a $4 winner here, but Brendan, what's up?
It's all about energy name, guys. Take your pick right across the board. The energy group moving higher. Halliburton here, 10% to the upside. Have a look at the volume down here versus yesterday. Big time relative volume on the buy side on all of these names today, guys.
Yeah,
and speaking of, Oxy is continuing to hold above that little range here, so you're seeing a nice little trend in Occidental. I think maybe it's going to be a bit of a play to just play some pullbacks on Oxy right now. I think 13.15 is probably the first level you're looking at. It's been continuously making some highs here, so I think easing into a position to catch the trend could be the way to go. I know Adam in the chat there, you were talking a little bit about Whiting continuing to make some moves. Look at the penny stock, and they've been beaten up, but let's not ignore the fact that it just put in, what's about a 20% move to the upside since the open. So that's done 5.5 million shares. It looks pretty good to me. We'll have this one on our board as well. The volume's fantastic, so there's no reason to run away from it just because it's a 50-cent stock.
Yeah, at Matt P here, we're going to look at SDC right now. So Smile Direct. Okay, let's just keep going up here, Softy, and let's get going down. This is 4 or 5 times here on Netflix. Let's just hope it breaks this time and we'll be huge. But okay, SDC here, 425. That's that break level here. We're going to see what that can do. Smile Direct right now, looking to break through 425. I like it if that does happen. The daily chart has been quite interesting on Smile Direct. It made this bottom and hasn't really been able to go. I do like this one long for a very long time if it breaks above 550. So that's a nice little key level. So did I say 420 on Smile Direct? No, 525. So 525 on SDC is the play here. So I'm going to wait for that to break. If it does, we'll be in for sure.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at Pfizer again. Bit of a bounce here at 36.50. This is one that we wanted to try to be picking up here. I do have other levels on it, but the first bounce is right here with the market moving up. That's going to mean let's jump into some shares of Pfizer for the first time. Still have that delta long, which just isn't working out for us. It's 23.75. It's brushing upon the next level that we have, which was 23.30. That's our line in the sand. Of Oxy, which we picked up at 22, that's starting to work to the upside. Brennan, what do you got?
Chip makers are strong, guys. NVIDIA here just breaking 280 once again on huge volume. A little bit of support in the pre-market yesterday. We broke down yesterday. We're back up 4.5%. AMD also moving to the upside. They were awarded a new U.S. patent for a new product yesterday, guys.
Yeah, I love that AMD play. I meant to take that at 54.85 there. But look at Softy, guys. We are now $1 in the money. So there's the cash register. And guys, welcome aboard to the 900 club right now. 900 viewers right now watching. That's a record for us. Smash that subscribe button, guys. We need to get to that 10,000 so we could do some more special things for you.
Speaking of, if you want one of these puppies, if you want to get that merch,
Netflix.
Make sure you hit that subscribe. Thank you very much to everyone that has done
Boom.
that. Boom.
Netflix, guys. Big winner right there. We finally took some off. Too many times watching this thing break through 419 and not going. So we finally take off half here. Is it a mistake? I don't know. But now we begin to break lower here. Let's hold the rest of Netflix. But that's a winner, guys. So far today, I've given you a $5 winner on Netflix. Live. There it is. Oh, yeah. You want $1 on Microsoft? There it is. So 2 for 2. $5 winner. $1 winner on Netflix. There it is, all for free. Thank you, guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's go, guys. Netflix to the downside even more now. Still tanking. Let's go.
Netflix may be to the downside, but we are seeing a bit of a bounce here in Pfizer. That was a name that we liked on some strength, of course. They had that deal with that deal coming through, but it just bounced off VWAP here. So what I'm going to do next time is take a little profit when we get it up at VWAP and see if we can't catch a reload. You are seeing a whippy market, and if I'm looking over here at the NQ, we go up 50 handles, we come right back down. Now we're sitting in the middle. So you got to take some profits when they present themselves to you in the market, guys. Oxy holding at 13.21. That one's basically been flat for me. So unfortunately, that move to the upside just hasn't happened yet. We're going to dig in. We do have some levels we like. FRO frontline that broke to the downside, so we're already through our next support level. Bye bye on frontline. We're not going to get that long.
Yeah, bye bye on Netflix. Here you go. 514, guys. This is now a $7. 514, 414. This is now a $7 winner as we go on Netflix. So you guys want these plays? Here you go. We hit the swish for this. I'm going to hold this and see what happens the rest of the day here. 415. We are still tanking down here on Netflix. This has been a fantastic play. Hit that subscribe button, guys. We're here every single day, right, Brendan?
Absolutely. BNTX, guys, the other side of that Pfizer deal this morning, they came to an agreement with German authorities to start a COVID-19 test clinical trial over in Germany. They teamed up with this company, BioNTech. BNTX, they're still higher, but huge flush at the open there. We're right at $50 even for BNTX, guys.
Yeah.
BNTX, that was a massive, massive mover in the pre-market. I think that's going to be one that we're watching throughout the day. I usually love these ones when they try to retest this consolidation point here, but it's already broken through. It might end up being a retrace. It might be a long trade at some point through 51. So let's watch on BNXT. But just keep in mind, $18 range so far pre-market. I just mentioned to you guys picking up SAEX back again in front of threes. We finally get the move coming through on Oxy to the upside. That's Occidental. This one at 13.20, we picked it up. It's finally gone here. What we liked about it was just holding the high. So a tremendous amount of strength. We'll look to take some profit off. I did tell you guys why you should take profit in front of 13.50. So I got to follow my own code here. Take some profit off at 34 here for a 15-cent win. And we'll hang on, see if we can get a break at 13.50, but that's a big level.
Yeah, Netflix just crashes down there, so we hit that alley-oop to the market here. Actually not. If the market crashes here, how far down does Netflix go, guys? We basically go perfect right here because you're going to see 416, 415. We could have had 425s. I'll take 423 down here, 416. You may want to start to get out of some of this one, especially if it does break back above 419 on Netflix. Pfizer, quickly, guys. Brendan just hit that with their stock that they're in that deal with. I like Pfizer breaking back above 36.60, maybe 36.70 or so on that one, but that's Pfizer for you. What's up, BWIC?
Facebook, huge move today, guys. 6% to the upside, just broke 181 on decent volume there. Not seeing any significant news. They were going to invest some more in technology when it comes to helping grocers out. Going to read a little bit more on that, but Facebook up more than 6% today, guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can sort of go back, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all moving to the upside there. So I think that might have just been a sympathy play that we missed out on a little bit here. Oxy continues to maybe give us a reload point, so that's still working in the money for us. I'm going to quickly throw the position board up just because we haven't done it. And I tweeted this morning that we'd probably be in more symbols than normal. And I think I definitely was in a few too many, getting too active on SAEX. Now it's settled down. I do have that one. We're back into a short that I like a little bit better here in front of 290. We also have that Pfizer we're working into. We love Pfizer on any kind of a sell opportunity at some resistance points. Oxy, we're still holding on to those 20s, of course, looking to sell it if we can get to that 13.50 mark. And then, of course, Delta, I talked about that 23.30 being a support level for me. So I actually am not all in Delta. You leave yourself some room because it was opening so much higher than that support. I wanted it to pull back in. The futures, Sean, have not really moved, but it's been a wild morning so far in terms of volatility.
Yeah, this has been a great morning, an absolutely fantastic morning, I would say, Neil. And it depends on the stocks you have, like we talked about it. That's why you join us early, guys. We're going to use 420 as our out on this, and maybe it has something to do with something like this, but we're going to wait for 420. You can see that's just actually the moving average here. This is VWAP, but a moving average on a 1 minute is back to 420, so we're going to hit that one if it does go. But what's up, Brand?
Another way to look at oil markets here, guys. If you want something that's a little bit lower priced, another ETF here, OIL on the Amex exchange or ARCA, NYSE ARCA exchange, back to 260 here on decent volume. So if you're looking for something, you don't want to trade the crude futures, too expensive, or even UCO I mentioned yesterday, wild mover in the afternoon. Have a look at this one, OIL, just 250, but moving with oil, guys.
I was just going to tell you guys that with move up in crude here, USO is basically holding steady, cannot get past this 295-ish mark. So you are seeing a bit of resistance here. If USO starts to turn around, this could be a very, very interesting short at some point, guys. So if we turn around here in USO, maybe crack 285, I'm going to try getting short in this one. It's been so wild, and the volume again here up to 78 million. It just doesn't stop.
Yeah, oil is ripping too. So
if that turns, I mean, God, USO is going to be a great short.
Yeah, exactly. And what is XOM doing here? 42.95 to the top side. XOM may just take this out. 42.84. XOM here as oil. Neil just talked about it. So XOM needs to go. I don't know why it's not on this oil move, but it doesn't necessarily mean it won't. 42.85 here. XOM. Let's take it. Yeah, this is that little. We've wicked up here so many times. Don't know what's going on. XOM taking the south side here. Oh, the market's heading south. So So as oil comes down, goes up here, the market finally making moves down. I'm going to leave XOM. This doesn't make any sense to me. You shouldn't trade things when you don't get a good read on them. So we're going to pass for now on XOM, guys. But right now our Netflix trade, Microsoft comes out. Netflix still bouncing around 416. It gets high to that 420, but we're going to wait to see, guys. If we can break down your 414, maybe we just take an $8 winner on this thing. Netflix to the south side.
Yeah, I'm going to take that other half out of that Oxy trade there. You're going to get the nice win up to 1330, and we should have maybe got a little more aggressive in front of 1350. It only got to 38, so we didn't quite get to our target price, but this is why you got to have a stop, and this is why you got to take some profit on the way up. 1350 is a big level on Oxy. It's going to have a lot of trouble getting there without a bigger move in the futures. We're right at 2330 on Delta, so as much as I like this stock, we might have to file that one in the loss column. We're going to put that level on a swing idea and keep it in mind for the next few days. I do like 2330. It hasn't necessarily broken through this price and sustained, so we haven't been stopped out yet. I do think it'll happen at some point, though.
Yeah, shoot, guys. We were looking a little bit at Bitcoin here. We punched one level on GBTC and then got right out, but now it's at 465. So a little bit of a missed opportunity there, but again, not much happening. Just want to give a shout out to Jeff Mendel from OTC Markets here, talking all the time Bitcoin with us. And OTC Markets, a great area to trade if you guys are so interested. I'm still waiting. I only have one position on, guys, and it's Netflix short. We can go position board on. It's not going to be a big one for us here, but it's just this Netflix short, 422.60. So there it is. That's the only position I have on. It's a $5 winner right now. We've already taken out half of that trade at 419. So we put $3 in our pocket, and we're not going to let this one break 420 before we get out. I have AMD on the look as well. We're going to go long this name right now, very soon. AMD just getting above this 54.77 level. I do like what they were talking about. Already up 50, already went to 55.25. So some room to go if the futures go. But look at this move down, Neil. Wow. Nice little move down in the futures. Was not really expecting this.
No, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was bullish on a lot of names today on pullbacks and got a little too aggressive at the top. So it's going to be a fail in Delta. We took it way too early there. It's trying to hold the bottom end, but I had to take it off. So patience is the name of the game. If this level ends up being a good one at 2330, I will have dug in too early to be right. And it's the same thing with Pfizer. I liked Pfizer, but I picked it up entirely too early. It's down at that 36.25, and now it's trying to bounce. But I still have a few too many shares here at 60. I'm going to be loading up one more time, but my stop has got to be through 25, guys. So execution matters. You can't just have levels.
Brendan, what's up?
Sorry, Brendan.
Another one in the social space, guys. Pins here moving to the upside, 8% move today. Not as much volume or range, but nice look here. Coming back to watch 18 was a little bit of a pivot on the way up above the aftermarket action for pins as well.
Okay, so we got into AMD pretty big here. So let's go, AMD. This is a nice little trade for us. I gave you this one, guys, at 54.70. We're long at 80 now, so we're taking these out a little bit here. Nice little 12, 13 penny winner. Right away, we take them out at 92. It's actually, we're long at 82. So this is a nice little 15 pennies now into the money on AMD. So there you go, guys. Another idea. AMD to the moon here. Big win for me on AMD right now as we're looking for the upside surprise on this name. Wowzers. Here we go. Big time winner, AMD, Brendan.
So we're looking at a SAEX, guys. I talked about being patient. They're probably too active off the open. I don't love those ones. Once it settles down, we make a defined range. I was talking to you guys about that 3 even, 290 to 3 even in VWAP. We grab the short in front of it. Our average price works out to about 270. It was 269 actually. We just got some out there at 54 for 15-cent win. So we're back in our pocket here a little bit after bungling that first little bit at the morning. If it breaks 250, watch out. We can get all the way down to the 215 range as a bit of a target. So lots of upside, and by that I mean downside in SAEX. We already got a winner on. But Valeria, what do you got for us?
Hey guys, and welcome everyone who just joined us. Finally, you found our show and we can trade together. Guys, subscribe for our channel. We are live every day from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. If you subscribe, you'll receive notifications when we are back on air. And also a huge shout out to our viewer Davida, who sent us a super chat. Thank you very much for your support. Guys, if you don't know what super chat, it's a new YouTube feature. You can see down below the chat $sign, and you can check it out. Also, we appreciate any support. We would really appreciate if you give us more likes and more subscriptions. Our next goal is 10,000 subscribers. Yeah. Please, let's get that. And keep likes coming. Also, almost 200. And I'll see you later. Back to traders.
Guys. Fantastic trade here. Neil, let me take this guy. AMD, big trade, big time winner here, guys. You guys want the winners. We're just monstrous today. This has been such a great day for me trading this. We gave you guys this one, 50.42. Look at this. Bang, 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 bang. There it is. So big winner on AMD, guys. I've been getting out now. I'm only 20% in. Take it away, Neil.
No, I was just telling you guys the USO broke, and I was mentioning to you the fact that we're getting that bounce up in oil, and USO just could not break 290. When it took out that range, I mean, I don't know that structured shorts get easier than that. It was a 280 break. You really wanted 285, but just tricky to get on the way down. I've taken some off here in front of 70, so it's a 278 short. This is over 100 million shares already, guys, and we got a 10-cent winner on. Looking to hold for this little flush. 250 is the ultimate target. USO, I mean, what a great little setup that was. So I wish I wasn't playing heavily in Oxy. I think this has been the story. We saw the numbers 143,000 yesterday. Somebody pulled out. Why not go right to the source of that profit and jump in here on USO? Brennan, what do you got?
Crazy small cap mover of the day award goes to PECK, P-E-C-K, 134%. Guys, it's been halted a bunch of times already. Just got rejected up there at 9 even. This is a solar company or solar installer. They signed a new corporate agreement with another company that's going to improve their story. So P-E-C-K going crazy, guys.
Okay. You know what? The only story for me is if I'm patient and wait for the opening range plays, you like bang bang here. Like you're talking about SCEX, which is much better. We got that 270 short. Our last shares was at 280. It's down at 250. So we basically have an average 20-cent win on that stock. But USO continues to flush here. We're short at 278. We're out at 266, and we have half of our shares still on here. I like 250 as a bit of a target. We're just going to work it out on the way down. There's no science to this. If it breaks 265, we'll take some more off, maybe in the mid to low 60s as well, but you're still looking at that 250 target. If we can take a 10% move on USO, be very, very happy with that. I'm probably going to short some pullbacks as well and stay active in USO. It's been a good one, as well as SAEX. The only thing not working out for me, of course, with the market coming down just a tiny bit here, is our Pfizer, and it would be fine if I was patient and actually waited for a stronger support level. If we had done that, we'd be okay. Now I need this to retrace to VWAP because we have half of our shares near the top at 36.60. So average price 36.50. That's not terrible, but I'd rather be risking 15 to 20 instead of 25 to 30.
Neil, what is VWAP? No, just joking. Okay,
no, you didn't, Sean.
I got Brendan to laugh again.
No, you
so the win is here to me once again today. We're winning on the stocks, guys. We're winning on the jokes. AMD up 5%. Look at this one, guys. Neil said that USO wasn't anything too technical, just more of a look. That's a great look, but this was breaking through. VWAP, guys, right here. You see this little move breaking through right now. Great trade on VWAP. Educational video coming on that one very soon. You'll see Valeria, you'll see me, Brendan, and Neil. But right here, big trade breaking through VWAP right here, guys. Bang it to the upside, and now we rock and roll, guys. What a great trade. Out at 41. We are very light now. All my trades have just been bangers today, guys. I hope you've been following and making a little money with this. We will look at some weed names coming up as I do see them moving around. M was Macy's. Good look there, Robert. I hope you're able to take that. And that's what I mean when I say I'm a little bit anxious sometimes because there's so many stocks to trade. This is a great one, Macy's. I love trading Macy's. If you look here at a longer term time frame, though, it did make a big move up to 7 before now pulling back down. Robert, I'm not lying to you. Watch out for 440 here on the bottom. This thing could absolutely crash. We're going to find out. I'm going to ask Brendan if there's any news perhaps on Macy's. But for right now, Macy's to the downside.
Sean, I'm going to go arrows down, not for SAEX, which is crashing that I'm short in, but for Macy's. You asked about news, and look, they're looking to raise a ton of debt, and they've been a very conservative company. That is a sign that they're trying any way to weather the storm. So like $5 billion in debt they're looking to raise here. So that's basically what's going on for Macy's. Getting absolutely crushed, but they're trying to survive. I feel like this crisis is just speeding up some of what we were talking about last year in the retail end of that doom and gloom. And companies got to shift, they got to adapt. Macy's, I don't know. Will they survive? I don't know. It's been a short for me. Basically exclusively the last little while. I want to get back to this SAEX secondary flush here, guys. We're now in the money, 40 pennies on our last entry point on our average. We're over a 10% return. Like I said here, I like 215 as a target. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't rest an order in front of that and then allow this one to trail back up. And I'm not going to move my trail anywhere. It's going to be a break even, so it's got to break past that 280 mark. I'm not going to slide it down this time.
Yeah, exactly. Great little look on SAEX there. I didn't have a look quite yet at some of those little small guys, but Roku looking around. Okay, our Netflix, give you guys a little bit of an update on that one. Yeah, there's that 420. So yeah, we do make a lot. We made a decent amount of money. Actually, I made more on AMD than I did on this Netflix trade. I was a little bit lazy, not lazy, but stubborn there. We should have got out some at 415. That was a big trade, but we take $3 or $4 there, and then unfortunately, we only take 2 on our last out. So you'll see the scoreboard at the bottom, guys. That is how many pennies we're taking out, P&L per share on these stocks. So you'll see AMD a big one. You'll see Netflix a big one. Microsoft's been huge for me today as well. Those are the only 3 names, as well as GBTC, which is a Bitcoin name. Guys, subscribe. We need to get that subscriber number up. We're very close to 1,000.
Yeah, we get to that
right now.
We get to that 1,000 mark. That's what we're looking for, guys. Thank you for everybody that has hit that subscribe. But if you haven't done it, make sure you go and do that. Just looking at Pinterest, we just crossed the 10% mark to the upside, so might have missed this one a little bit. And again, that sympathy play, you get that move on Snapchat, you get the move up in Twitter and Facebook. Pinterest as well getting a bit of a bump here. And I was just looking at the daily chart. Yeah, breakout central through that 18 mark. It was a big level that we're looking at. Next point is maybe in this 19 range, so still has a bit of room to go on this run. If you want to play the trend, I'm looking for pullbacks. The first one will be 18, 25 to 30 range.
Okay, Brendan, what's up, bud?
I was just going to mention ATIF, guys, just getting ready for happening now. But ATIF, another big mover, they signed a new contract worth basically half the value of the company. So ATIF, worth a look, guys.
ATIF, okay, we'll definitely got to look at that one. Microsoft is my baby here, so we're going to trade that one as we go. Microsoft from the bottom here. Wow, a little bit of a bunch up there. We were too busy destroying AMD to notice this one. 171.25 would have been a great little look there on Microsoft, but that's a good name to look for the top side as I look at some more charts here. And again, we have different screens. If you guys can come to my side camera, there you go. Good job. Wow, these guys are good. You can see different looks here. So different charts up here with some watch lists here. Daily charts, 12-minute charts, 1 minute, and 3 minutes. So those are the kind of looks that I have, as well as more stocks to look here. This is the primary screen that you guys are seeing live on the show. And then we have a little bit of information, my email, my Twitter, and whatnot. Follow us all on Twitter as well, guys. I'm posting there every single day, 5 or 6 tweets at least there. So hit me up, guys. We're going to grow that follower base. We have lots to release, and you want to be the first to find out. So let's go on Twitter, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. I'm just going to track back to SAEX. I did tell you guys what we're doing here. I do have an order down at 220. That's my target. If you're short with me, that's fine. I think if you take profit here, that's a great return. I already have a bunch out. That's the reason I'm looking for the extension. If I had half of my position or 2/3 of my position, I certainly would probably already have some out in the 240 range, guys. So hanging on. Stop is at 280. I'm going to get you guys back over to USO because it's pulled back a little bit here. Pulled back into the 275 range. Didn't quite get to that 280 where I would have loved to be selling again. But we are still holding 30% of our position. I said I wanted 250. We'll probably take some out in the low 260s again in case it bounces again one more time. But we'll leave on maybe 10 to 15% of our position to get that flush at 250. It's 10 o'clock. Valeria is the best in the world. I just got my reload on coffee, so that's what we do here. That'll give me the gumption maybe to get that reload in USO, cracking the 125 million mark. Take advantage of that volume, guys. It's been absolutely fantastic. But for now, we're going to jump to the big screen and Brendan with Happening Now.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets here after the first 30 minutes. Nicely back in positive territory right across the board. In fact, you can see the S&P at the top there, 1.8% to the upside. The Dow about the same. Tech stocks, the NASDAQ here leading 2+% to the upside as far as U.S. markets are concerned. We have the Russell, small caps doing quite well today, is also almost 2%. The S&P, TSX here in Toronto, 1.5% back into positive territory as well. Energy names, the story of the day for the TSX. If you're watching some Canadian stocks, BOVESPA down in Brazil, 0.8% to the upside. Top to bottom here, we are in positive territory. So nice to see after the past couple of days. Let's have a look at absolutely nothing because I put the wrong chart up. So CVE, Baytex, and Suncor, the lead gainers here in Toronto as far as energy names are concerned, guys. Some of the banks showing a little bit of strength as well. Yeah, Phil. Back over to you guys.
Yeah, fail on the chart, but Brendan doing a killer job as usual, giving us some of those names that perhaps we never looked at. So big shout out to Brendan. Oh, I did have a Brendan thing on here. Where is it, guys? If you know what I'm talking about, play it. I don't see it on here. The little, oh, there it is. Throw. Oh, this is the throw to Brendan. Here you go, Brendan. He's open in the end zone. Touchdown. Brady to Gronk.
Look at that form.
Yeah, what do you guys think of Gronkowski there in Tampa? Looks like they'll finally be selling some tickets with Brady there. Now Gronk goes over there. So Gronk smash time in Tampa this year, Neil.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Tom Brady can stay away from getting tickets for going into a public park when he's not supposed to during a quarantine, I think they'll be absolutely fine. Gronk is a beast. This market, in terms of volatility, hasn't been a beast, but some individual stocks certainly have been. I'm going to go back to our trade here in USO because that's our main one to the south side. I did like this one in a retest of 275. If we could have got there, probably should have grabbed some at 73 and 74. It is looking like it's trying to put in a higher low, and I think that's a decent enough reason. I talked about trimming my position a little bit here to about 15 to 20% on the short side, so I'll take some more shares out in the mid-60s. That'll be about a 13-cent win. We did get that break at 278. We gave that one to you and tried to get 285 up here, but it was really tough. I mean, I literally chased this one down, 85, 84, 83, before just saying, what am I doing? Get a little bit more aggressive, cross a couple of cents in, and just get the damn shares, and that's what we did here on USO.
Okay, guys, DAL, yeah, US, I mean, oil right now, 28%. To the top side. We'll look at oil chart in a minute. I know Neil's covering that, so I'll leave it alone for now. Jarhead, nice name there. We are going to wait for this break of VWAP. This is why we need you guys on the show here to let us know. Delta, I love the long, wherever the thing is, doesn't matter. I love the long on Delta early on. One of the top stocks that we talked about in the pre-market. I thought it would be a short squeeze back above 24.20. Wrong on that one. So now we will regroup. I didn't get in, but I just thought we would break out through this pre-market high. That's why you don't get in until you see some price action. But look at this, guys, 23.60 hammer time if it does come through. So that's been a big trade. The only trade I have on is the best for me today. The best trade I think was Netflix, but we didn't have the best out. But AMD now, I have 20 shares. So if you see me in position, I'm just going to punch out here as it breaks back down through VWAP. But a big trade on the upside here. My most profitable trade of the day here on AMD breaking to the top side. And now we're fading back down as we need to find some shorts. I wonder how your Macy's is doing there, Robert. You absolutely crushed that one. I wonder if you were short up here. Maybe you can let me know. But now it's bouncing around. I don't mind this breakthrough 487 on Macy's. Let's take that together, I think.
Yeah, it hasn't even given you pullbacks. Macy's just so incredibly weak, of course, off of that news. And Pfizer looking weak as well. So a name that I absolutely love. And look, it's one of those things that you can like something fundamentally, but the price action is the price action. And so that's going to be the case here if Pfizer breaks at 25. Both Delta and Pfizer, stocks that I liked in front of support. They're looking like they want to break that support. I do like Macy's as well, Sean. I think to get into this trend, you're going to be willing to sell of the bottom at some point after having missed this already 25-cent move. Sorry, 35-cent move.
Yeah, 54.89. Oh yeah, I mean that's the problem. We can't get every single move all the time, but there we go, out of VWAP there on AMD. So okay, we're still long AMD small, like I said there on that one. So let's just try to find what else is moving here for us. Damn, the biggest trade of the day that happened before the market opened, and I tweeted it out earlier. Follow us on Twitter if you guys can, but it was this Snapchat breaking through $15. You see what it did at the open. It got all the way as high as $15.65. Look, I wouldn't have been that long I wouldn't have been long for that long, but Snapchat right here will hit a key level here. You got to be long on Snapchat. It's fading back down here. We'll see if we can't pick some up at about 15.20. We're coming down here now. Don't like this momentum down, but it's on relatively light volume. So if we can see a volume spike somewhere, then maybe we take some Snapchat to the long side. Is Microsoft anywhere near 172.50 yet? Hold on a second, guys. Now I went the other way. I was waiting to see if we broke back up here with these futures bouncing, but looks like Microsoft is going to still be stronger than the market. We're going to check out on some big cap names in a minute. But
oh, wow.
Yeah.
BNTX here, guys. Yeah, a bit of a missed opportunity. We talked about that consolidation here right before the open. I said, they have a $17 pre-market range that it put in. Bye-bye. We just missed a $7 move, and I was looking to short this one off of these little resistance levels at 57.75. It just never gave it to you, flushing right off of the open. you know what, this actually at some point is going to be an interesting buying opportunity, but you want to see it level off. I think if it gives you any kind of a retracement into VWAP after any kind of a bounce or support puts in, you're looking at least a $5 return. So make sure you keep the NTX on your radar, but if you've missed a short move, all you can do is let it base out and look for that VWAP retracement play.
XOM bouncing off 42.20 here is a decent play as well. XOM 42.20, it's bounced off there a couple times. I think this is probably something worth taking right now. Brendan, what you got, bud?
Yeah, all about the energy names. In fact, here's another one, Apache, on a retracement here, back to $9 even. A little bit of trouble here in the pre-market at 9 even, but looking a little bit weak compared to the rest of the group as far as APA is concerned, guys.
Oh man, I didn't take XOM here, and now it's going to break this 420 level. So yeah, watch out for 410. I don't know. I thought XOM would be strong on this kind of an oil day, but I guess not. XOM's made its moves in the past. What is this level yesterday at 10 o'clock? Oh yeah, we had this trade actually. 42.12 was the high. So maybe if we break that, look, we ticked down there already today. 42.12 right here, guys. Let's draw a line. This is yesterday's high and today's bottom. So you can see this on, maybe if I make this bigger, it's a little bit easier. We get this stupid wick up here to 61. This does not work. So let's zoom this back in and in just a little bit here. 42.12 is that bounce point. Let's see if we break it. If we do, let's go short on XOM.
Yeah, speaking of XOM, I'll get you over to USO, which makes another play at that mid 270s range. Of course, my first short was at 78. We'll take one more shot at it. I only had about 20% left as we took most of our profit on that down move that you saw in the first couple of minutes on that flush. It was kind of one of those trades where you just, you know, it just falls in front of you and you're just lapping up that money as much as you can. But we get this pullback here. I'll probably give it to 280. Not going to want to give away too much of your profit that you made on that initial push. And I'll take some shares out in the mid 60s. That's been a bit of a support level on USO. And you got to watch oil, of course, oil futures, that is, as you know, we continue to have, you know, quite the volatility. It's a little bit crazy when you watch this current contract, but it is leveling off around 15. So if we break above this $15 mark and start to make a run, that's another good reason maybe cover some USO and then look at it again at that nice 290 level where it had some resistance.
Guys, only 60 more subscribers till 8,000. So be that man or woman who clicks it.
Punch through on that.
At 8,000. That would be pretty sick for that one. Microsoft still heading in the south. Oh, that was the name I wanted to talk about. Silly me. Square. Square, nice little move today, up 2%. Very similar to Microsoft looking here, topping out at the high spot here of 459.50. I love this kind of a break right here. If we can get back, Square's touched out here, 59.15 a couple times. We're now to the downside. I mean, you can see the market here making this move down. If the market comes back upside, watch out for Square. I've got this order in right now, 59.15 on a break. We're not too far away on that one. I did want to check Jughead's call on Delta there. Look, you could, this is the thing about VWAP, guys. You can use it a couple different ways. Once it breaks VWAP, it never really comes back and it gives you that downward trend. So here's a VWAP play right here off of red. I hope you can, oh yeah, you can see that good on the screen. Yeah, this is VWAP. You see coming right down here, making a nice little move. So if you were short when I was looking long, then you were going to be correct and just use VWAP as your route. Looks like Delta short squeeze. No, we go negative now on Delta. So I was wrong on that one. Watch to see this 23 key level, guys, on that one. We are now ready though, Neil, with Brendan at the big screen.
For upgrades and downgrades.
Yes, sir.
Hey guys, yeah, upgrades and downgrades. Some interesting moves as per usual on this board today, specifically on this side of things. Downgrades over here, all in positive territory so far, including Home Depot. Analysts downgrading Home Depot today, not liking curbside delivery, I guess, during the lockdown. Cadence, Emerson, J&J, and Snapchat. Yeah, the big winner, 22.5% still for Snapchat. But I want to show you Tesla. Tesla is, that's actually wrong. It's back to about 0.5% right now, but was about 2% to the upside earlier on a downgrade. Texas Instruments and Visa, the other ones, all still in positive territory as well. Here's Snapchat. Nice little look on the long side through whatever level you picked this morning. But yeah, coming back to the downside, 15.20 acting as a bit of support right now. But all kinds of volume behind this move today. Really impressive. Relative volume around 20 times normal for Snapchat. Here's Tesla, 1.2% still in positive territory. Looks like it just bounced off 690 there. But yeah, downgrade. So a little bit of a gap down here in the pre-market. We did get all the way back to 710 and then the pullback through to 690. So a bit of a range, but positive on the day, guys, for Tesla. Back over to you.
Okay, good.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Just going to get you back to that SAEX. It did try to make a move to the upside. This is why I didn't trail this one. You get this move to 270. Normally, I would have a trailing stop for that last few shares, but we didn't go ahead and do that. And so we're still hanging on to this downward trend. I think one thing you could consider, which I'm not going to do because it's burned me lately, is adding into the position. I think when it gets to this point, it's either going to make a test all the way through that 280 in VWAP, or it's going to give you that flush. So it's more of a binary situation here with only the last 15% of our position on SAEX. USO is still holding at 274. That's our other one. Pfizer, like I said, I thought it was going to stop me out. It actually didn't do that. It held the bottom, at least for now. But it's a downward trend here. So like Delta, it'll probably end up having the same fate. We're against the trend. We picked this one up a little bit too early. That being said, hasn't broken yet, so we're still in the long in Pfizer, but our price is at 48.
Yeah, good. I like the Pfizer long. I'll have a look at that as well. We did get into XOM here, though, and now XOM starts to fall down a bit, which is fine. Look, we noticed when we got in initially, you're going to see a few of these outs here. These are profitable outs, obviously 41s, 43s you could see here. Our long is 38, so we took 4 or 5 cents on a quick scalp there before just noticing that it was breaking down. It didn't go. I noticed these tops here. I wanted it to instantly get above this 42, 45 here on a push. Right, it did not push, so now we'll wait. We'll dump half of what we have left right here. Actually, that's not the right spot. Right there, they go. There it goes, right there. 42.18. We do have this short coming through here at 42.11. So we notice it fails. We get out. So a little bit of a losing trade there. We gotta lose every once in a while, guys. So we fall down in a hole there on XOM, which is fine. Like I said, I'm using bigger shares, so we're fine to take out a little bit of profit, and I don't want to hold this all the way. So XOM now fading back through. Look at these futures, guys. Never a good sign when you punch long, basically up here like I did on XOM. So we absorbed some of this. It's not a very big hit at all, but that's one that we missed out on here. XOM to the downside when we're long.
Yeah, and BNTX is trying to bounce, but you just said it there, so some selling going on in the market. That's what's probably going to stop me on that Pfizer. It's been holding so well, but you can only fight price action for so long. I did mention on BNTX, I like this one. If it put in a decent base, it's got to test this 46.50 to 47 level. Once it does that, I want to see if we can hold above it. If it does, we can buy this one. There's plenty of room into VWAP here if it's going to give a retracement. Otherwise, you want to pick it up in front of the low and inside of that bottom end range. Brendan, what do you got?
A little bit of negativity recently, but zoom back to the upside so far today, 2.5% in fact in positive territory. But right at this level from the open, support level was around 146.75, 146.50. They came out this morning and said they are tightening security after a number of different companies and even some school boards, I think in the US, came out and said not allowed to use Zoom products anymore. So they did come out with a bit of a fix for that, guys.
Okay, good look there. We do like Zoom, like we talk about that all the time here on the show. I'm going to try to pick up some NVIDIA here. NVIDIA downgraded yesterday for absolutely no reason, in my opinion. You're going to see strong AMD today. It's my #1 stock. We tick in right now on NVIDIA. You do have, what is VWAP right down here at 280.65? That could be a spot that we wait on here. We're going to average into 281, but 280.60, you break this. Look, I mean, if the market keeps falling down, I'm not going to be averaging in to these things too much here. I can't play the momentum. Like Neil talked about, like there's a bad wick there. I'm not going to talk about price action too much here. If it breaks it, it breaks it. If not, then we'll hold on to this long. I do like NVIDIA here for a possible $2 winner, but we are long right now, 281.57, very light looking to average in. What's up, V?
Hey guys, a lot of you are asking on the chat, what's the VWAP, what's long, what's short, how to trade in general. We hear you. We are preparing a educational series for you, and they're coming the following week. So guys, stay tuned and subscribe for our channel so you won't miss them and you'll receive notifications when they are ready. And of course, hit more thumbs up and subscribe for our channel again. And if you're watching us from Facebook, guys, join us on YouTube. I'll send you the link. We're having a great chat there. And also, guys, keep your questions coming. As I told you before, I'll be picking up and ask it directly to traders. And guys, you are a part of the show. The live chat is kind of a heart of it. So let's have fun there. I'll see you later. Back to traders.
Yeah, what is VWAP? That price that I don't want USO to get back to. So I just took some shares off there at 68. I talked about working this range. So, we'll scalp about a 5-cent win there while maintaining the core position. The only downside is we just off that bottom where I somehow got bottom wick. And, sometimes you find a key level and it's a good one for you. We did take some shares out at that bottom, but it's put in a higher low at least once and then actually broke above this little top here. So it's a higher high as well, at least in the short term. So it is bouncing back. I think you're seeing a little bit of strength in oil as it comes back in. So it's a decent short, and the USO has been so weak, we have to look at places to take this profit if we don't get the big flush that we're looking for. So I'll probably be dropping a lot of this again in the mid-60s, which is a good return. 5-10 cents is good on USO, but at that 250 mark that I really, really wanted, I'm not sure we're going to get it unless we see some further weakness in crude.
Guys, here we go. NVIDIA, yeah, crude. Look, USO, Neil going back to the well and a good trade there for sure. Here's NVIDIA. We just take off $1. So we hit the air horn there. Wake up, guys. Every trade today, XOM hurt, but very small. NVIDIA now. Look at this trade here, guys. And I apologize for these wicks. I can't do anything about them right now. 281. We take our first one, 281.50. We average in 281.12, I think, and then we get it out right up here, 282.47. We're out of half, and we're still running this. Guys, our NVIDIA position right now, 281.20. This is $1.25 in the money, so catapult time. Here we go, $1.50 in the money, exploding, raining down this cash as we just continue to go up. I talked about why I like NVIDIA. Here we go. We destroy AMD. Now it's your turn, NVIDIA. Back to the upside. I'll get rid of these wicks, and this trade will even look better, guys. 281, we're long. 281 right now at 20. It's at 282.60, so a nice little $1.40 winner. Put that in your pocket and smoke it, guys. Let's go.
What an unbelievable trade. I'm beginning to understand why 143,000 was made on USO here, guys. We just got some shares out again in the 265 range. It just keeps on getting these dump sellers. I mean, every now and then someone just comes in and dumps a few 100,000 shares into the market, and I'm talking like half a million shares at a time sometimes, and you're sitting in the short and you're just getting these massive flushes. So I'm going to stay net short until the trend does break. I'm still looking for that 260 mark. We just got more shares out. It's been my best stock of the day. SAX has been a good one as well, but I love this name. I'm actually watching Pfizer try to hold. I did get out, but the fact that it's still holding 36.24 or 25 range, I think is a good sign for us. We just got our long, I think, way too early. We didn't allow it to make a strong base and then wait for the upward move. I think that's what we'll do on Pfizer. We still like this one as a strong name today.
Yeah, Pfizer, yeah. You know what, guys, I'll look at that. Let me look at Pfizer here and see what's going on with that name. I did like it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, wow. What the hell? I wonder if, I don't think that happened, 35.60. Pfizer, I did like it through 37. This is why, like Neil said, you do trade that price action and wait to see what does happen with that one. I'm waiting on NVIDIA right now. Yeah, actually, it looks like Pfizer could go here. What is this price? 130, 36.30. Maybe it needs to get above 36.37. These kind of levels here. If Pfizer can get here, we'll giddy up and we'll put some shares on board for that one. But let's check back on AMD. This has been my biggest stock. NVIDIA still could come. AMD still bouncing around right now. Futures need to do something, guys. Again, hit that subscribe button. Some of the stuff Valeria is talking about, we need the subscriber growth for that. So let us know if you can get, if you haven't hit subscribe, do it now. We're free every single day. You want these updates. You'll also get the updates when we drop our education videos. So I know a lot of you guys are asking about that, but NVIDIA, this is the trade right here, guys. Look at these wicks, man. Okay, we're getting higher. I'm going to plant an order up here, 283, 284. Here we go. NVIDIA elevation time, guys. We go bullish on this one. You want the big time winners. Microsoft's been $1. Netflix has been $5. XOM loser. AMD 80 cents. So yeah, we've got the winners on right now. Our biggest one by percentage of, not percentage, by just pure numbers is NVIDIA right now, 283, a nice little $1.80 winner. We're gonna have to look at Tesla. Tesla back to the 700 club as well right now, breaking through 700. Let's just take a quick look at that one before we throw to Brendan over there at the big screen. Yeah, Tesla from 688 all the way back. What is VWAP? It is right here, 701 right now on Tesla. Not a bad spot. I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper on this one. There goes NVIDIA as well, guys. Wow. Big time winners for me today. Let's keep this train rolling with Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. Let's have a look or a recap of what has happened in small cap world so far this morning. We were talking about this one yesterday. Big, huge, crazy mover yesterday to the upside. Got all the way up to $4 up here and kind of stalled out mid-morning and then trailed off for the rest of the afternoon. $3 was a big pivot here in the afternoon. Yesterday did get a bit of a flush before closing lower, but I had $3 just picked out in the pre-market this morning. Was really hoping this thing would get all the way up to it. Didn't get there, but did give you a great opportunity. Can't get away from these things. We say it all the time. You know, day 2, day 3 even, still giving you opportunities to the downside. That WATT from yesterday. Another one, SAEX. Rewind the tape. We said 3 to 320. Really good level up here from the pre-market. Huge opportunity this morning. 320 down to 220. $2 or a dollar move to the downside there, basically in a straight line. All kinds of volume still available on SAEX. One more for you. INO was talking about 1130 up here. If this thing gets anywhere close to even 1120, love this thing in front of that 1130 level, but looks like it's struggling right now. That's 11. Came up to 11 2 times now and kind of stalled out a little bit. So INO also on the move, guys.
Thank you very much, guys. You were asking about that BNXT going long. A couple of guys here in the chat. I was waiting for a better base. I wanted to see it test higher. It did do that. It gave you a retest of the low. It turned around shy of that. So on the way back in, we added a couple of times here. We have 46.25 is going to be our price. I talked about a VWAP type of retracement play. You can get all the way to 50. And I mentioned you had some upside. It's 10% or $4 to $5 when risking about $1 here. So when you're bottom picking, I think you should be at least a little bit picky. That's what we've done here in BNTX. Patience is the name of the game. You pick this one up too early and you're long at like 47 on a break, and then you got $2 till the low and your upside is cut almost in half. So we got BNXT to the long side, still short USO and SAEX. 1 long, 2 shorts. Let's see if we can get this going.
Yeah, we've already got our stuff going here, Neil, so it's been a good day for us so far on some of these names, and now we're going to see if we get another one going here. Square, 58.70. Let's see if we can break through this. It makes that bottom at 58, so we're playing with a lot of house money right now. NVIDIA just touched out at 283 again. That's 3 times. I mean, should we just take the $2 on NVIDIA, guys? Let me know in the chat if you guys like this play or not, but NVIDIA right now just stopping out here. There's been a bit of consolidation up here. So look, I mean, if the futures break, here's the futures chart here. We do have a high beta of NVIDIA to the futures. When it dropped down, NVIDIA took its south side as well. So if we can break through here, 2780 has been pretty key on the way up and down in the last couple of days. So we're going to see if the futures can go and if NVIDIA wants to break through this 283. Look, we're long 281.19 on this one right here. And we just got into square, 58.70. I told you that one. Look, I'm not going to take 58.80. That's VWAP. But we're going to wait to see if we get back up here as well. Maybe get out some 59s or so if that can go. On the downside, though, I'll probably cash this out at 58.25. Not going to hold it all the way to the bottom. We are taking some decent risk now. So we'll take 58.25 if it breaks that back downside. But we're long Square and we're long NVIDIA. And NVIDIA breaks through, Neil. 283, 284. The next stop, 284. This is a $2 plus winner. So there you go, guys. Explode the money. Hopefully you're long with me on this one. NVIDIA, the money just keeps raining in. And wow, this is why we love this job, guys.
I'm looking at that 1570 for you guys that are looking at Snapchat there. 1560 did get taken out, but when you're this high of a flyer of 25%, you want to see a test of those breakthrough trades, and it did try to break through. It was a fail the first time here. The second run will be at 70. That's what I'm looking to grab here. So if you have it, fair enough. I'll wait till you have it 5 cents worse. It doesn't really matter. It's been such a high flyer, and there was not a lot of resistance again until you got to that 16 mark. So plenty of room for everybody to play. I'm just looking at that 1570 mark if you're looking at Snapchat, guys. So big move to the upside. It's about to break. I'm going to trigger into some longs here on Snapchat. There we go. We got it at 71, so not any slippage at all. We'll give this one at least until 1550 before I want to add to it. It can get all the way back to VWAP without breaking that little trend. I do think the best add point is going to be 1555 or so, so keeping some powder in the keg for that level.
Yeah, powder in the keg. We just catapult ourselves, and we'll hit a home run. I mean, it's not baseball season yet, but hopefully it comes back. I don't know. We'll see 283.80 right now. We're now more than $2 in the money here on NVIDIA and going to the top side. We do stop out there, 283.80. I'm going to put an order out very soon, guys. We'll capture this $2. Clean little $2 winner in ho-hum 10 minutes. So that's not horrible return, and we're going to get that out hopefully soon on NVIDIA as the top side of this market. We talk about 27 47.80. Looks like we're gonna try to break that, but here's NVIDIA all the way up, 283.50. We're back now to the day's high, and your boy has got this one. So there's the air horn, guys. I hope you like the show. Hit subscribe. Bang, another $2 winner for you. So the winners are here, Cowbell Central. There we go. Now we just need Square to go, Neil.
Yeah, SAEX, guys, another flush to the downside here. I'm getting a little bit impatient with this one. It is down to 240 now, so we do have that 40-cent win on. I've been trying to get 50 pennies on the last of these shares here, but if it fails at this 230, 240 mark, we're going to have to give this one up and take that 10, 15% return on the last bit of our shares. You could have been reloading here. I gave you guys the reasons why you want to give it to VWAP here for any kind of a retracement. It's a nice downward trend and no reason to get out just yet. However, it has not been able to retest the bottom here at 235, and if that's going to be the case, we'll have to take the profit on our last little bit. It's the same thing with USO, and I'll come back to that one just to update you guys on what we're doing. I've been net short in USO basically for the last, I don't know, call it half an hour, so maybe even a little bit longer than that. We've been taking shares out in the mid-60s to plan. We still have our shares on for the 250 flush that we're looking for, so USO has been our best short of the day. We just added to our long on Snapchat. I talked about leaving some powder in the keg. You do that, picks them up in the 50s, like I said, and now we're back to the upside in the money. Brennan, what do you got?
More destruction, I should say, in the retail group, guys. American Eagle down 14% today, right at day lows here. Just be careful, 7 even. Pretty big level for this one. They withdrew, another one that withdrew their full year forecast, guys.
Okay, what was that name?
What was that name? Sorry, Brennan, didn't catch that.
American Eagle.
American Eagle, thank you very much. A couple of you guys asking about INO. I took one trade way too early, and it's been a really, really good one to the upside. But for me, it's got to break through that top. It's had a lot of trouble getting through. You have a couple of failures at 11.15. If this one fails again, it's going to turn into a retracement short for me. So if you wanted to be bullish on this name, not unless it trades above 11.15 and does some volume up there.
And guys, we hit this button perfect because look at this NVIDIA trade. Look where we're out. We took this trade together live on the show, right, guys? 283.50 is the out off here. So bang, bang, we are out and we are flat. The only position we have now on, let's just do it. Let's floss it off. There's not going to be a better technical trade than this, I don't think. I had a couple today. I know Neil probably does too, but this is a great trade out at the high of the day right there. NVIDIA, what a great trade. Little disappointed USO isn't moving really more than that. Hopefully it does start crashing a little bit today as oil now down or back to 20%. So that's a good move. But I did want to talk about, before we go back to Brendan, the only position I do have on is this Square. And look who just showed up. There's like a big, huge seller there at 60. Or there he is, on EdgeX. So we need to break through that, guys, if we're going to get anywhere on Square. This is not a very heavy position, but with this seller here and it not going, we'll probably use 58.40, 58.25 was my ultimate out on this one. But there it goes. Okay, he's gone. So we're long 58.70 here on Square. We're looking to keep the day. Perfect. What's up, Brendan?
This could be why we're not seeing a huge move in USO at this point, guys. Crude oil inventories 20 seconds away. 15 million barrel build expected. API number out after the close yesterday, also pointing to monster build. So we'll see what this entails coming up here in about 10 seconds. Should be on the build side, obviously, but whether or not it's going to be bigger than expected, probably going to be what we need to see. So there it is, right in line, in fact, 15 million on the build side, guys, for crude oil. So I would say that might be a positive for the markets, guys.
It could be a positive, yeah.
We're not getting a ton of movement here. If you look at crude, it's just sort of trading, hanging right where it was. Not a big move up or down. This is why I trimmed to 10% of my USO position, which has been my top stock of the day. That could get replaced by BNTX if it goes. Of course, that's a kind of a big bet when you're bottom picking on a volatile name. But if we start coming up, which is exactly what's happening here in crude, I'm probably going to end up taking off the last of our shares on USO. And if you can take a 10-cent win. The way I looked at that trade is that last 10% that you're holding on to, if this comes the other way in crude at 10.30, it's a much better opportunity in terms of what kind of a flush I think you're going to get as opposed to the bounce up, which not even that much. You're seeing a big move in crude here, and I was able to exit out of USO with basically no trouble. And this is what makes it such a good day trade, is that the reaction time to this, it's basically almost no move. I'm able to catch out at 268 when it moves up to 270 in almost no trouble whatsoever. It's a fantastic break level. I hope you had it at 285. I had it at 278 and had to chase it just to do that, and it still gave a fantastic win. But I got to get over to BNTX. This is the one that we really think can go. Once it breaks through this 47.50 mark, it's trying to test it again here. I'm long at 46.25. We're in the money, about 60 cents to $1, depending on what the spread looks like. Once it breaks through there, we'll take some profit off, and that VWAP retracement is the ultimate target on BNTX. I hope you were patient with that one and didn't jump in at 47.50 when we first brought it up. I told you why you wanted to wait.
Yeah, exactly. Good analysis there, Neil, and that's why, guys, you got to be patient. And I'm trying to be with Square. It just bounces off. I mean, look, I'm long at 70, and VWAP, I keep saying that. I wonder why. Hint, hint.
I can't think of why, Sean. Who knows?
Yeah, 58.70. I'm here. I'm the marketing guy as well here, guys. 58.80. Shout out to our real marketing guy as well. 58.80 here. 76 topping out here. I don't know. It bouncing off this VWAP. We need to break that. I don't even really know why I went long 58.70. I probably meant 58.80 because that's where VWAP was. But we're long stuck now, and that's okay. I like to trade. I can get out for profit right now if I wanted to, but we're going to wait on Square. It's really the only stock that we have any kind of worry on right now, and that's what it is. So Square, the only stock I have positions on right here. Snapchat was the biggest call of the day. If you guys saw us, I don't have it on, but if you saw us early, if you were here at 9 o'clock, join us every day. This 15 level was so cash money right here, but the problem was it breaks at 920, and I missed. We were in a huge trade at Netflix right here. I missed this pullback. Now Snapchat off to the races. I wonder what Nvidia is doing. I just talked about getting out.
John, I'll snap that one off. I did take that one, but I'm late to the party on Snapchat. We did grab the long on the 70 break, and I told you, leave some powder in the keg for that failed break. When it flushes people out and you get tricked in that long, you want to be able to pick it up at that recent support level. That was here at 15.55. That's where I loaded up and took more shares in, and we're able to just get some out there at 80s, and I'm hanging on to the rest. The trend is your friend. The trend hasn't been broken in Snapchat. Brendan, what do you got?
Another shipping company here, DKL, 39, almost 40%. We were higher than that before, got up to 13.5, but a bit of a pullback here. Nice look for DKL, kind of consolidating here around 12.50. They updated their current quarter forecast, said things were going to be better than expected, guys.
All right. We'll throw to Valeria for a subscriber update in a second when you guys get that, Robbie. We'll throw to Valeria for that update on subscribers. Really proud of these numbers that we're throwing down here for you guys today. Our show is very new, guys.
Thank you, guys. I mean, we're having a fantastic morning and a fun morning as well. So hopefully we get some good numbers from.
What's up, Valeria?
Hey guys, here I am. Welcome everyone who just joined our trading show. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for our channel. We are live every day, guys, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Our goal is 10,000 subscribers, and it will open a lot of opportunities for us to educate you and entertain you even better. So guys, if you don't know where is the subscribe button, it's right under the video, and you can hit it. And that's it, you subscribe. Also share the link with your friends and family members. We are relatively new on YouTube, so please help others to find out about our amazing show. Stay tuned, and I'll see you later. Back to traders.
Thank you very much. And I'm not going to hit the logo again because we've already done it a couple times. I'll hit the floss. And you can see we're doing our social distancing. And Snapchat is doing some distancing of its own from VWAP and from its open price. That's why it's up 27%. Just going to try to take some out here. Again, in front of that 80 mark, it just seems like it's slowing down a little bit, so why not take a little bit more profit out? Of course, we do have this this long position through 15.70. We added to it at 15.55. You're going to see that as my last entry price. It was an average price in the 60s. My last shares in are 56. That's what we're holding on to right now to see if we can't work the trend the entire way. My stop is going to be back at break even. Now we were in the money. It took a long time to get into that Snapchat long, which probably should have been done at the pre-market. When it failed to break that 1480 mark, I actually liked the short if it broke 1480. Thought the floodgates would open up and fill the gap. Once it didn't do that, come on, that's a strong signal. Should have been buying earlier, but we got it now. Along for the ride.
Yeah, we're going to be long for the ride here on Netflix as well soon, guys. 424.50 right here, this little top wick. We're going to see if we can't break through 424. You might say, why are we not waiting for 425.70? Yeah, I'll probably ask that question myself once we get in. But 425.80 is this high on Netflix. I like it. But this is kind of why I like the 70s better. We're back down in here. If we can break in this area, 424.70, I think it'll give us that push one more time. As you see, the futures now starting to go, hopefully a little bit off this 420. Oh man, this Netflix, keep that in my mind. 27.74 down here. If we can hold that bottom and take it off here, then I think Netflix has a chance to go. We did put our stop order in already. 424, what did I say? 70 or so on Netflix here. So we'll see if that can break through. We'll take that long. And by the way, here goes Square. So finally, we wait for that one. We turn our evil laugh. We're going to take some out here. Do I even have an order out? Yes, I do. It's at 94. So we'll wait to see if Square can tick us out right there for a quick 25 penny winner. It just bounces off of us. This is us sitting here at 94 there. We'll see if we can't get out. I don't know why. It's bouncing off against us here. 94's on Square. That's where we're trying to get out. We're long 58.70. Ho-hum. Just another winner, guys. We're on fire today. Let's go.
Yeah, Adam, you were talking about that BNTX. Yeah, it's a downtrend, man, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that you can play stocks against the trend if you want to. I said be patient, wait for it to make a firm bottom. We did, so instead of being long 47 to 47.50, we're long at 46.25 as an average price. We just got some out for a $1.50 winner. I'm looking for a VWAP retracement. Hey, at this point, if it breaks the low, I'm still going to be up on the day. Why? Because I'm now going to slide my stop to the lower high. That allows you to risk maybe 50 pennies on the second half of your trade. You're already in the money at $1.50. If it gets a VWAP retracement, you get a nice little home run for $4 to $5, whatever your preference is. I don't like to have stops or take profits exactly at VWAP. I'm either getting out above or right in front of it. In this case, because the trend is weak, I'm going to be getting out in front. Let's see if we can't get that move to what, $49. Long here on BNTX, 46.34. Fantastic little move here. Brennan, what do you got?
If you like the penny stocks here, guys, we'll go over to penny stock world. Foon, PHUN, little name with China ties popping up on the volume scanner. You can see huge volume just coming in on the buy side here. We broke 65 cents. All I can find is they announced a new contract that they have signed and completed. So a little bit of buying coming in, about 7% for PHUN, guys.
So Square takes a little bit of time. PHUN, that's a fun stock. Square right now, guys, 59.05. We're sitting there as well. See if we get out and bang, bang, bang. Everything, guys, today. What up, Jarhead? I do this every single day, man. So here's another trade. Look, just look on our Twitter. You can see the profits below. These are the only trades I have on right now. Oh, an old trade just pops in here. Twitter. This was a stock. This was a trade that I was looking at early on in the day when we broke higher. So I'm probably going to get out of this one now. Twitter just steps in, pops into my spot. But right now, Square is the position I'm most worried about, guys.
Yeah, and Snapchat is one that I'm not actually worried about, and if you're long, you probably aren't either. That 16 level was kind of what we talked about, 15.90 to 16 when we were talking about this at the open. That's why I think the break at 15, Sean, that you were talking about was so good, because there wasn't a lot of resistance to that price. Now that we're rubbing up against it, if we do turn around here, I will take my profit off here. My last load up was at 15.56. It's already a 30-cent win, which is a great return on Snap, but you got to make sure that when you're with the trend, you can buy higher. So we can always get back into 16 breaks. There's nothing wrong with that as we consolidate here. Off for the 30-cent win. It's been a nice trade here in Snapchat, and I think we're going to look for more. 16 break is the next thing on tap.
Okay, so Square, we get out almost everything up here. We are also now long Netflix. So there's that 424.50 that we're talking about. Actually, I got 424.67 to the long side now. So we are back long Netflix. I'm going to try to find a spot to get out here. What did you say about my watch? Did you say? Yeah, this is my watch. Oh, Sector Watch. Okay, Sector Watch. Let's go to Sector Watch with Brendan Wickens, long Netflix, guys.
Hey guys, yeah, time for a Sector Watch. We'll have a look at the S&P 500, see what is moving the market to the upside today, which is nice, almost 2%. I was kind of hoping we would get there before this, but 1.97% for the overall S&P. Yeah, look at this big, glowing green, blue, whatever you want to call it, box right here. These are the energy names leading the market higher today. Halliburton, FANG, PXD, CXO, all more than 7% to the upside. Halliburton leading here, 9+% for Halliburton. Halliburton, there's Oxy, there's Marathon, Noble, Apache as well, we mentioned earlier, 6% to the upside now for all of those. So these gains being led by the energy group today. Consumer discretionary stocks also pretty strong today. CMG, talked about that one if you joined us at 9 o'clock, 9.5% for CMG today. Nice look there. Yum Brands, MCD, Starbucks, 3.5% for all of those. Some of the travel names coming back to life today a little bit, which is nice to see. Expedia, 8% to the upside. We have Ulta Beauty, KMX here, also in the retail side of things, moving to the upside, 2.5%. I want to talk about tech stocks here. Semiconductors, really strong today. Right off the bat, these have been moving to the upside. MU, I mean, we've mentioned NVIDIA there, LRCX, 8+% to the upside. These have been kind of sleeping over the past week or so. So coming back to life a little bit today for, there's AMD, 4.5% as well. Some hardware makers also to the upside. Western Digital there, WDC, having a really nice day, 4% to the upside. Software companies leading though. Financials are strong. The entire banking sector in positive territory so far today. Also wanted to mention this group real quick. Material stocks, FCX, LYB, and ALB, all at least 3.5% to the upside. Nice day. There we go. We're above 2%, 2.04% for the S&P. Let's go back to Neil.
Thank you very much, Brendan. It's all ships to the upside right now, just breaking that 8,600 mark on the NASDAQ. I'm going to show you guys with the position board here, just sort of update it for you. Just a bit of a recap. I've only thrown it up one time today. I think it's a little bit easier for you guys to follow along if you know what we're working with here. So I just have a couple of positions on here. BNTX, we mentioned this one. I do have it at 46. 25 was my average price. My last entry was at 34. That's why you'll see that. It's still in the money. We've taken $1.50 on it. The second half, we're looking for a big retracement into VWAP. We slide our stop up to make sure we lock in a profitable session on that stock in case it trends down. SAEX, I still have a little bit of shares on here at 280. It's down here at 240. My target was in that 225 range for the home run trade. We're still looking to see if we can't get that one. I have the chart up on this, and again, one of the things I try to do here is you want to hang on when the trend is your friend. I didn't want to catch any pullback because that's been burning me a little bit too much when I catch these ones back to VWAP. It tends to be a trade where I'll take it off if it breaks. Now we're hanging on to see if we can't get our ultimate target, and there's no reason to get out. It's either breaking even for me on our last 10%, or we're getting our last little stop. That's one of the ways I'm trying to expand my horizons on these trades. Instead of those 10, 15% returns, if you can extend that to some of your shares, 25 to 30% on these smaller cap names, you want to try to do that. Once you're successful, you can start loading up a little bit more for the bigger holds on something like an SAEX.
Guys, Smile Direct there. Yeah, I actually just got up to get myself some fruit salad. Look at this, guys. You got to
it's here.
Make sure that you're eating pretty good here. We'll put some cantaloupe in the gullet here in a minute. Okay, and we took off our Snapchat trade or Square trade, but 425 or 525, sorry, was the call here on that. I wish I never canceled it. We'd be hella long right now. That's my mistake on that one. But one thing that we are not mistaking on is, once again, your boy is in the building. Netflix. Here you go, guys. Just another winner. So short here, out. We take this long. I gave this to you multiple times. I gave this to you when we were down here, guys. So 424.50 break. We're out at 426.50. That's a clean $2. It does go as high as 427. Look, this is that bunch area that we're talking about in the pre-market. This is why we get out of that trade early. We hold on to half. Look, if we lose on this second half, oh well, that is what it is. Look at Square, guys, all the way up to 59.30. Gave this one to you at 58.70, and that was against us for a bit before popping back up. Look, the money just keeps coming in, guys. Pay attention to these ideas that I have. The only loser I have on right now, or had on all day, was XOM, and we lost very small on that one. So fireworks ahead. We are smoking today, but without any further ado, as soon as this little graphic is done, bang, we'll throw it to Valeria.
Hey guys, how's it going, everyone? Hopefully your trading day is going really well and we are doing it better, and hopefully we are entertaining and educating for you. Also, we are trying to be even more helpful, and I told you before, ask your questions on the chat. I'll be picking one and ask it directly to traders. Our show is relatively new on YouTube, but Neil and Sean have more than 30 years of trading experience. They are those people who you want to ask about trading. Guys, of course, course, hit the thumbs up. Let's reach 400 likes today and subscribe for our channel. Remember, our goal is 10,000 and we are going there together with you because you are part of our show as we are talking with you and we're doing that for you. So guys, stay tuned, hit the thumbs up and hit the like button. I see you later. Back to traders.
And hit that subscribe. We're all about the subscriptions. We love the fact that we're bringing this show to you guys. You can see obviously that we have a passion for what we do. And that's certainly something, if you can do what you love for a living and you never work a day in your life. And that's a fantastic saying. And that's the thing about trading. You eat what you kill, and that's what makes it such an appealing game. And we're trying to bring this to you guys live and ask questions. If you want to be doing that, follow along. We're definitely trading what we find as active, but it doesn't mean we're going to catch every single symbol here, guys. So if there's something you're looking at that we haven't tracked, and I know a couple of you guys are looking at a whiting here, which was unbelievable long. I feel like I've missed the boat on this one. I loved shorting this one when we were on the way down in crude. On the way up, what an explosive move it's been. So congratulations, Adam. I know you were talking about this one through that little top. It broke 58 cents. It gives you a 20-cent move to 78. Massive move to the upside. At this point, I'm looking to fade it, to be honest with you. Put it in a lower high. So now that it's below that 78, we just got to make sure we actually have some low case to be able to do that. If we don't, I'll have to find something else to short.
Yeah. For sure, we need to watch these shorts right now because this market is pulling right back in. Look, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 outs there. So guess what? We still have 20% of this square. If you like mac and cheesy, well, this one was easy because 58.70 there on that break. We did have to hold it a little bit against us. And once again, guys, here are the winners. We just keep cashing in all of the time. If we can go, we'll just put our scoreboard on. I don't know if this actually shows up. Actually, there's no start button here, so I don't think I can actually show my scoreboard here, but maybe if I just move it up, let's just move it up here and show this screen, guys, right here. This is the damage we've been doing on some stocks today. AMD, we crushed that. Remember, these are P&L per share, so AMD hasn't moved $8. We've taken $8 out of it. Netflix only $7 out of that stock. NVIDIA 3. Square, we're still in that one. Microsoft has been a bad one. Twitter, we're in that trade. That triggered incorrectly, and then there's XOM. So big time movers today for yours truly, and we'll continue to keep the show going, rocking and rolling. The only positions that we do have on, you know what, let's do this one now too, Robbie. Let's go to camera 2. This one we know works. Here we go. It's a $2 winner on board right now on Netflix. I gave that one too. I hope you guys have that as well. 44-cent winner on Square and a 13-cent loser on Twitter. But that Twitter trade, that triggered in from the morning. Check out your stop loss orders, guys. You have to make sure that you cancel those as the day goes on. But those are the big positions that I have on. Maybe we should take a $2 winner on Netflix here, guys.
But Brendan, our good friend, it's been a while. What do you got for us, buddy?
Just watching Hertz Global here, guys. We were mentioning in the sector review there that some of the travel names were coming back to the upside today. This one, not so much. 2.8% to the downside. Nice little pullback here into 420. Hey, yeah, again today, 420. Looking like it might want to retest $4, guys.
Just looking into those whiting, it looks like it's a reasonable price, about $0.015 per share. So we're going to get some locates on that one. But I am going to give you this: the fall off the Earth, and the Earth is not flat. Obviously, for those of you out there that believe that, I hate to be you. But falling off the Earth is SAEX, and we talked about this one. I had a target trying to get down to that teens mark, so 215 was about that range. We get out at 222 as it slowed down. And again, one of those things when you have an area that's not scientific, I just look for some slowdown in the time and sales here, and then I try to find a bit of a bidder. There was one down at 220, so when it tried to bounce off that level, I then took out my shares there. 280 was our last entry price. Of course, we were aggressively getting out in the 240 range for about a 30-cent win, about a 15% return. Our last exit point, we're going to get 222. That's a 58-cent win. That's over 25%. SAEX, we're trying to work into holding some of these a little bit longer, even if it takes longer in the day. Some of these can flush all day long. $1.13 is what this stock was yesterday. I'm not saying it gets there, but you just never know.
Airhorn Central, XOM, yeah, I'm not even trading that one. Netflix to the top side here. This is a $4 winner, guys. We're long 424 here. It's at 428. Keeps going to the top side here. Netflix, once again, guys, your boys got this for you. We've got you covered. We've taken these trades. They're going upside here. Netflix, big win. We do get above this little garbage here. Next top side, somewhere up here. Look at these Netflix trades today. Bang, that's a short covered. Bang, that's a long covered. Now we're going to see where we cover the rest of these ones. Boom, boom, boom. Hope you guys like that. Shout out to Kevin. I know you were talking about that earlier, and a few of our viewers. Hopefully you guys are following along because today, guys, it's been a swish, swish. Most of these ideas that we've had have been monstrous. So here we go, Square. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, Square. Square now 70 pennies in the money as well. So we're going to keep watching that one to the top side.
Yeah, some of you guys asking about locates on SAEX, and Brendan actually mentioned this. We did have locates at Day Trade the World here to be able to go short in SAEX. We were paying for them to be able to get in there, and apparently I did get the last of the shares. Well, at least last I had checked. So there was availability for us. I can't speak for whoever your broker happens to be. I can simply tell you that here at Day Trade the World, we were able to get some locates. So I was very fantastic and happy to be able to get those, to get a great little short there on SAEX. But now it's time for Money Talks with Brendan Wickens at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. I'm not upset about that at all, Neil. So don't worry about it. No, that was a great trade. SAEX to the downside. Let's have a look at currency world here and check out some individual pairs. I want to talk about the CAD back to the upside again today. Almost back to 71 cents. We're getting back into this kind of chop zone. On the way down from 72, we hung out at 70.8 for a day or two. That turned into a bit of a pivot. We're back to 70.8 again from beneath. So back to the upside today. Core inflation data out this morning, as I mentioned, a little better than expected. So a little bit of a pop for the CAD today, 70 and change. Euro is lower ever so slightly. We have the euro pound negative. That means the pound is higher, 0.3%, 123 again for the pound. We mentioned that one yesterday with some news. Japanese yen is higher. We have the Swiss franc back in positive territory. That actually tested below that 97 level early on this morning, but has since come back to the upside. Australia is higher again. New Zealand, though, very rare to see these two going the opposite direction. There was a little bit of data out in Australia, didn't affect New Zealand, so very rare to see these two, though, going the opposite directions as they are today. Crypto world is back to the upside once again today. Bitcoin got down to 6,800 yesterday, back to 7,100 today, so a nice 3% move for Bitcoin. Ethereum here having a nice day as well, back to 181 for Ethereum, more than 5% to the upside. Guys, back over to you.
All right. Yeah, looking at some crypto names. I made that one trade on GBTC, but other than that, nothing. We do have over 63 markets here at Day Trade the World, and one of those, of course, is the CME. We can trade Bitcoin futures if you so choose. So come on board. Check us out, daytradetheworld.com. We're using the P Pro 8 platform here. It comes with a full suite of charting and all the kind of order types you can even think of. Market on open, market on close, and the ability to trade tons of markets. Neil, if you still have that page open, we could review the profits as well, but we did see yesterday.
Sean, you read my mind. I haven't made a trade in USO in a while here. We did take a nice one on it. It's not my number 2 stock after SAEX, but I mean, the Amex, and you guessed it, obviously, because USO was so big. Some trader made $162,000 here at Day Trade the World on that market, and this is just the top traders by individual market. So this is number one individual trader in each of these markets. 61,000 in the NASDAQ, 41,000 in New York. LSE, that's going to be London, 24,000. The CME that you mentioned there, Sean, 21,000. Germany, 19,000. Amsterdam, 19,000. And then, of course, you have Canada, 14,600. Hey, somebody pulled 2,200 out of the OTC market, so maybe they're trading a little bit of GBTC that I know you like, Sean.
Yeah, exactly. GBTC is a good one, that's for sure. But okay, 430. We've bounced off there a couple times. We are long Netflix. 424 now. Those are the positions we have on Netflix and of course Square. So we're waiting on Square. I mean, we're already out. We're still holding 20%, but it looks like it wants to fade back down here. So Square, not a great stock. I mean, it's been a fantastic stock, but just didn't take the top out there. I think Square can get going, guys. Watch out for this one, especially if these futures do reverse course. What up, B?
Just posted this in the chat here, guys. L-Brands halted on a spike down here. Big time volume coming in. Broke back through 12 all the way down to 1160 there. This is an additional information request halt. So it was initially reported. I did post that as a volatility halt, but looks like it's a NYSE additional information request halt, guys.
L Brands. Okay,
I'm guessing it's not good. Oh, no, I'm kidding, obviously. But you see the spike down. If you look at the chart, I do have the chart up. You can see L Brands falling off a cliff right before that halt. So it halted at 11.35. So forget about this wick that went from 12.20 to 11.50. It actually went all the way down here to 11.35. Massive move to the downside. Of course, I know Brendan will be all over this when we get either what the information is or a resumption time. When it's a news halt, you don't know when it's going to open back up, unlike volatility, which will be structured and probably in about 5 minutes or so. This one could take a while, but we will be all over it as long as it's before 12 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. L Brands, and I saw that in the chat, so shout out to whoever was talking about that, guys. Kevin, see what Sean thinks on what. If you guys can put that in there, I'll give you my opinion, Kevin, at any time here. But for Netflix right now, I think it's probably on Netflix. We're up a lot on this stock today. Look, I was debating right now dropping this one at the same price. I'm willing to take a loser on this Netflix trade here, so I'm going to give it back to 423.50, which is kind of the bottom of this wick, and just see, give ourselves a little bit more leeway here to the top side. If we could break through 430, I think it's go time up here to about 434, maybe we get stuck at 432, but Netflix right now is worth it for me to hold on to this one. We're already $3 in the money. We've already taken $9 out of this stock, so if I lose $1.50 on the last half of this trade, we're good to go, but that's what it is, guys, and we'll see. Okay, I'll see
Sean,
about your question there.
You were asking what VWAP was earlier, and I'm going to give another definition. That thing that INO keeps bouncing off of, someone asking about INO and a breakout through the top, I said no, be patient. Well, one thing you could have waited for was a bounce off of VWAP, which it's done twice now. So INO looking to be continuously strong. It's having some trouble breaking through the high end of the range. So when you're playing an upward trend and it's overextended like this, I think that's why I was mentioning you should try to play pullbacks instead of breakouts, because that 115 breakout, unless you wanted to take 10 cents on the trade and that was all you're going to get, otherwise you're getting a hold all the way and you have to give it 30 cents against you. I don't like that risk to reward to make 10 pennies. You wait for that VWAP bounce, and instead it doesn't have to make a new high for a profitable trade. So I know, nice upward trend, double bottom here at 1030. Watch that on any kind of a flush. That could be trouble.
Okay, L Brands just opened back up.
What do you got, Brendan?
Sycamore, guys. Sycamore seeking to terminate the deal for Victoria's Secret. That's from Bloomberg with regards to LB there.
Yeah, here it is.
Wow.
It opened back up here, and it's actually, I don't know, it opened up about 1080 there, goes to 1110. Now you're seeing the flush down here as people begin to realize. I wonder if we can find out, let's check the daily chart maybe, because where was this stock before
that's the first thing I'm looking at. I'm having, of course, my daily
down here, guys.
Frozen.
940, I would say. Probably around here. But Brendan, if there's any more light on that, when that deal maybe was initially agreed upon, we can try to work off that. But right now, L Brands back to the downside. I'm going to wait for more. I have information requested now, so we're going to wait for that one from Mr. Wickens, see what's going on. Alibaba as well. There it goes. By the way, guys, if you have never seen a halted symbol before at a live level 2, this is why, and again, I'm just going to smile here because I'm really happy to be able to show you guys these level 2s and what they look like. If you've never seen a halted stock before, this is what it looks like on our platform. Again, the PPRO platform through Day Trade the World. You do get it all grayed out. There's no more trading. You see everything is stopped, grayed out. This is the current level 2. Now you'll have people put their orders in for reopen. So you have an 1109 bid there. That doesn't mean that this is going to trade at 1109. These two orders would cross each other at some kind of a predetermined price when NASDAQ opens back up. So everyone's putting their orders in now to the system to make sure they get their fill. That's all that this is. When it opens back up, we'll see. But I assume this one must have been probably a volatility halt because it probably opened 1080, immediately crashes within 30 seconds down to 1023. So maybe the company's coming out with a comment here. We're going to find out more and more about L Brands though.
Yeah, one thing you guys can do when we talk about halts, and now the second time on an L Brands, is just go to NASDAQtrader.com. They're going to have updates on all of those. I'm actually still seeing a volatility halt like you said there. So all of these are on NASDAQ as volatility halts. That means it should open up in an orderly fashion in about 5 minutes or so. I was on the daily chart that we're talking about here. Support 930, and then down at 8 even are the two levels on the way down you want to look at. I only have a couple of positions on here, guys. I'm going to get you back to the bigger one. That's BNTX. We wanted a VWAP retracement. I told you about where I moved my stop to. That higher low that it put in at 45.70. It tested, did not break it, did not even get that close to it. We're deep in the money now, another $1.50. We took $1.50 the first time. I want more on the second half of these shares. Whiting, that short in front of 70, 69 and change we're short. It's working its way back down to VWAP, so a couple of pennies in the money on that one as well. Brendan, you have something?
Yeah, it looks like it's February, guys. That deal initially announced back in February. L Brands and Sycamore Partners taking Victoria's Secret private. I mean, obviously with the big move down in the overall market, price-wise, we're far away from where it was at that point, but things looks like it's back in February, guys.
Yeah, no problem here.
Brendan always gets us the news.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's his job, right? So good job there, Brendan. No, just playing around here. That's why we have Brendan, guys. It's easy for us to ask him something really quick and then look it up. We do use the icon terminal. Brendan actually had a great question a couple weeks ago where he went over all of the tools that he has. So the icon from Refinitiv is absolutely fantastic product there, and we're not getting paid to say that or anything. Netflix down to 425. The icon terminal is like a Bloomberg terminal, so you may be more familiar with that. So we have that live on the show. Which is why we go to Brendan. But right now, I'm just looking at this Netflix trade. It's pulled back down. Again, it's just my largest position right now. So we're going to wait to see if this does fade back through this 423 level here. I do like it to the long side, especially if these futures get going. But for right now, we do have some closed markets, including, well, not closed, soon to close Europe. It's 11:01. Let's throw it to Valeria.
Hey guys, welcome to European Update. Europe is in positive territory today. Britain is up 2.08%. Germany is up 1.51%. France is up 1.25%. Spain is up 1.29%, and Russia is up 3.18%. Some quick news from Europe. Sweden is going to restrict lockdown in order to slow down the spread of virus. The total number of cases in Spain grew to 208,389, and also Spain reported additional 430 deaths on Tuesday. Putin's spokesperson says that the virus is a huge challenge for Russia and the world, and also Russian health officials reported that there are 57,999 cases of coronavirus in Russia right now. That's all for now, and I'll keep you updated. Back to guys.
So I just got a comment there for Grace. You're asking about WLL Whiting being done. I'm not done with the stock myself. Maybe you're talking about it flushing to the downside. Well, I hope that does happen. I am net short here at 69.5. I talked about the structure of that trade. I can go over it again. 72.5 is the area that I'm looking at for it to hold. I don't like hard stops on a penny stock. I let it trade into that range and work out of it. It's done 50 million shares. It's not trouble to do that. I just find on penny stocks, simply getting out when it hits an arbitrary price, when you're trading at the tenths and half a cent, not the best idea here. I'm looking to have most of it out in front of VWAP, at least half of that position, and if it flushes more, fantastic. We're already in the money and taking a bit of a win, so we can play with a bit of house money on that trade. The other thing we have long, of course, is that BNTX. I don't want to get too much into that one because we have a nice little hold and we've made $1.50 on it already. I want to get back to USO because it's really starting to level off a little bit here. So it's making a bit of an upward trend, but it's forming a bit of a wedge here. The trend is still to the downside, but it has found support in the low 260 range. This is why I got out in the first place. I think we're waiting for the afternoon maybe before that 230 close. Sometimes you get crazy price action in crude, and USO is the place to be. Do not sleep on this, even if it starts to slow down.
Okay, so we went short L Brands here on this reopen. We're short at 59, and it is just crashing down here, guys. Why not? Let's take a winner if we can. We just go short 59, but now it rips back up. So here comes L Brands. Our out's going to be 10, and bang! There it is, out at 30 there. Big trade once again. Your boy is here, guys. 25. We're still going down, guys. 50-cent winner now on L Brands. We put the trade on and rewarded. So there we go. L Brands to the downside. Nice little trade done right there, guys. I can cancel my stop orders. Don't need those. We already cashed out. There you go, L Brands, Brendan. I guess we reopened and tanked down. Neil, did you take any of those shares, bud?
I actually just missed that reopen. I didn't have it up, and you got to have the stock up on a level 2 ultimately. Even though I have 5 level 2s, one of them wasn't on L Brands. I'm looking specifically at that $8 and that level that we talked about that's your ultimate target. And when you have these halts, I need to see it hold the previous halt level. So if it's going to eventually be a long for those of you that are interested and maybe can only go that direction, you need to see it test 10.20 before you're actually getting that confirmation. So it's only a short until that price.
Yeah, here it comes back. Yeah, I actually didn't have it up. I just noticed it come back upside and open up there. So we have to check out these shortable shares, and we're short now, but we're almost out. We have 20% of this position left. So no matter what, this is going to be a profitable trade. It can go all the way back to wherever, and we'll be fine on this one. But L Brands, we may just get out here. That was a crazy flush down. We basically got the low of the day, 925. The low is 923. So swish on that one. The free throw percentage very high these days, guys, on all these stocks. $3 winner on Netflix right now. There it is. 429. We're long 424. You know that. Did I say 3? I meant 5. Okay, Square, 50-cent winner. You guys know we have that one on. And L Brands was just demolished there. So we say timber on L Brands, but that's how we trade. We've got all the winners on board. It just keeps coming, guys. All the big stocks, I'm trading these. So hopefully you're following along. And bingo, bango, bongo, more winners to come, guys. Join us tomorrow. I'll be here, guys.
Yeah, and here comes WLL. We talked about wanting to take some profit off in front of VWAP. And again, you're going to do this not just because it is volume weighted average price, but because it already tested this level here at 64 and had a bit of a bounce. So if you get a net short position and you're looking for a trend reversal, you want to make sure you keep yourself nimble, and a stock has done 50 million shares. Allow yourself a point at which you could add back in if it gets to your target range. Now, look, if it doesn't want to do that and wants to give us our net to the moon and break right away, that's perfectly fine too. We're getting shares out once again on this 69.5 average short. We just got some more out at 65. Now I'm going to hang on for the break. If we get this break here, it should be a monster trade down into that 55, 56 range that you saw in the pre-market. If you can ever catch a 10-cent win on a 70-cent stock, you should be very, very happy with that return. 52 million in volume. I love this name. It's not quite as good as USO all day long doing 200 million, but we'll take it.
Yeah, we will take all of this, including Netflix, guys. We are now at that high. So like I keep saying, thanks for all the love on the chat here today. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. But lately we've been absolutely en fuego there. So we hit the fireworks right now. Look at Netflix back to the top side. We still have this. This is kind of the levels we're talking about. Would love to see a 432 test up here. We could get that very soon. We're going to wait to see, though. We are having problems at 430. So we'll have to wait on that one. What we're not having problems in is L Brands. And L Brands comes back down. We get a little nervous, takes them out at 50. Then we get our 34s again. So right now we're just loving life. And there it is. We are now out of L Brands. Evil laugh. Sorry to anybody who's long. But we just cashed in, made the money. Some big trades happening today, guys. Feel like we're a little bit psychedelic here. Everything we're touching is making that cash. Hope you guys are finding your way in today's market. This has been a fantastic market today. The only stock we've missed on is XOM. Twitter was a mistake. XOM, the only stock we're red on. Everything else, mucho, huge, guys. So we popped the wheelies all day long. Great trading today.
Yeah, and I told you guys about this wedding. Look, here's the flush through VWAP. This is what you hold for. So up 25% of our position. We're now taking some out at 61. It's a 69.5 short that we have on here. And again, if it flushes through 60, you're getting some out at 56 to 58. Oh, we call this one for you. That was the the opening range top right here at 58. So that's going to be a key level. You want to make sure you take some profit off in front of it. Not too much trouble getting some shares here. Of course, we have the ability to short it. We did pay for these locates, and it's all about risk reward. If you're only going to pay a cent or a cent and a half, and you're able to make, on your first shares, 2 cents on only a quarter of it, and then now you're taking 10 cent type wins, it's fantastic risk to reward, just like it was on SAEX, but you got to have those locates. Sometimes you got to pay to play. Make sure it's worth it. Brennan, what do you got?
Just looking at a little earnings name here in Canada. Metro, guys, MRU, back to positive territory here. Just broke a little bit of resistance, coming up to $60 even was trouble for this thing in the morning. $60 even, that is. Speaking of Canada, Jeff Foster from the TMX Group joining us at 11:50 today. Talk all about the energy sector, some of the volumes, where they're seeing it throughout the last week or so over on the TMX. Jeff Foster coming up in about 40 minutes, guys.
All right, Jeff Foster. We love Jeff Foster, good friend of mine and ours as well. So we will see Jeff coming up at 11:50. We did have Alex Bowles from NEO. We'll have Jeff Foster from TMX. So we're taking care of the Toronto side of things, and we took care of NYSE yesterday with the floor director, so on and so forth. We can't wait to have Catone back on the show and give you a look when we talk to some senior sales traders down there.
Sean, I want to make a point about these. Sure. We're going to post some of these, some of those videos, but you can always watch the live broadcast back. So if the guest is fantastic, and yesterday talking about the market structure and the NYSE Open in particular, that was such a fantastic opportunity. If you're trading on New York and you don't take an opportunity to go watch that, I think you're making a big mistake there. So tune in. We're going to bring these heavy hitters for you. You always can learn something. I don't care how much money you're making or how long you've been trading. You can always add to your learning, always add to that little knowledge base that you have within the markets. For me, sometimes that means you can go counter trend. Adam, I'm looking right at you. We're talking about that BNX trade. I still am holding on to it. Yes, we're in the money a couple of dollars here, and it's a fantastic return. I'm now going to finally slide my stop upside, so it's going to go from break even or so to 47. We'll lock in $1 worth of profit. We're still targeting VWAP. We want a $3 winner on this one. Let's see if we can't get it. Parked $1.50 on the first half of it. You can be patient. Sometimes you don't have to scalp in and out. You can hold a little bit longer time frame, and that's what we're doing here. On a bounce play in BNXTX, it's not that I'm bullish on the stock in general. It's obviously a downward trend since the open, just catching a nice bounce once it was confirmed on that initial flush.
Yeah, buddy, seeing some talk there about Toronto. Yeah, that's where you're from, and that's where we're from.
Yeah, buddy.
Toronto. Yeah, you don't go Toronto, but Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah, so there you go. So that's where we're from. Oh, Canada. We raise the flag here all the time. We're very proud Canadians here. And if you haven't visited Toronto, I think you guys should definitely. It's obviously a world-class city and home of the world champion Toronto Raptors. So this is supposed to be
maybe for a couple of years we'll be world champions.
Yeah, we probably would have made it to the Eastern Finals, but we had Milwaukee there. But then we would have got demolished by LA. So, okay, here we go, guys, to the upside here. We can review my trades. I only have 2 on right now. It's Netflix and it's Square. These are the trades right here. We can go here. Netflix long, 424.67. We've been in that one for about a half hour or so. I might just take it out at 4:30 if it comes. And Square's a 70-cent winner right now as well. So that's what we're working with. And it's been a fun day here. Great profits. Check below, guys, if you want to see the kind of money that Neil and I are making on a profit per share basis. You'll see that. We don't post our total shares or anything because everybody trades differently. So you guys at home may be trading with 10 shares, 20 shares, 1,000 shares, whatever it might be. But either way, you need to have those winning trades on. And today has been a banner day. Follow me on Twitter if you guys can. We're posting up the trades there all day long. I'll post them in the afternoon as well if you do want to go back to see some of these trades that I've been making today and hopefully how you guys can learn. Wow, Google's up 4%. Big time move for that one as well.
So I lied to you guys. It's not a $3 winner on BNTX. It is out in front of VWAP. It's 285 on the second half. So $1.50 on the first half, 285 in the second half. If you can figure that one out, it's a VWAP retracement, getting half out when it's halfway and the rest in front of VWAP. That play and setup that we do use sometimes, it can apply to small caps. I've done it on penny stocks. I've done it on other small cap names. We're doing it on BNTX, which is obviously a larger name here. It's a $10 billion company, although it's probably a little bit less because it pulled back in here. So 15% it is up on the day. It was a downward trend. We went counter trend there, waited for the bottom to be put in. This is important. I want to see it make a hard bottom and then give any kind of a bounce. Once it retested a consolidation level, I now have a channel to work with. We wait for the pullback very patiently. I don't want long 47.50. I want long 46. We get that halfway at 47.50 for $1.50. The rest out in front of VWAP. I'm not going to get greedy here. I don't need it to break above and get the home run trade. I'm perfectly happy with that structure. Sometimes you can go for a higher winning percentage and maybe take a little bit less. If you're only winning 50% of the time, maybe you can take it and hold it longer. This one, it's a high percentage play for me. Love that setup on BNTX.
I see you on there, Tom. Yeah, and we have this Square trade. I mean, I can review it with you guys here as well. This is pushing to $1 now in the money. We are long right here, 58.70. I will be tweeting this out as well. What we did was we just waited for all this kind of garbage to clear, and once it did right here, we pushed that long, was able to take it upside, and this is what we're talking about, risk management, right? It only goes down against us about 30 pennies, and now we have a 90-cent winner on board right now. So that's the kind of risk-reward profile that I like to take here. We're huge today. It's been a fantastic day. Hit that subscribe button, guys. We need more subscribers. We're almost near 1,000 watchers today at one particular time, so that's fantastic. Record highs, guys, but more subscribers can let us do more features for you here on the show, so definitely keep that going. But we do have right now at the big screen In Focus with Miss V.
Hey guys, welcome to In Focus. Some quick news updates in case you've missed. American Express launches coalition to support small businesses impacted by coronavirus. Support will include various offers, tools, and expertise. Among members of coalition are Amazon, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and IBM. According to British Health Minister, country will be testing potential coronavirus vaccine. The vaccine was developed with Oxford University researchers and will be tried on people this Thursday. Senate Republicans and Democrats agreed on $484 billion relief bill. The House aims to vote on Thursday. Here's what's going to be on the bill: $310 billion total for the Paycheck Protection Program, $50 billion for Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, $10 billion for grants, $75 billion for hospitals, $25 billion for testing, and $2.5 billion for small businesses. That's all for today. Stay healthy and stay in focus. Back to traders.
Thank you, guys, and thank you to Valeria for that news. And I'm actually seeing something here. Brendan posted something obviously super important here in the chat about that LB trade. Guys, if you guys are ready, I'd like to throw it back to Brendan to discuss what this is here. You can check the YouTube chat for the exact written reason here. Brendan, what you got?
Yeah, another halt there. At 11:12 or 11:13 for news pending. The news looks like it is out once again. Sycamore saying that L Brand's breaching part of the contract that they signed in agreement for Victoria's Secret. So maybe more negativity to come here, guys, for LB.
Okay. L Brands, baby. Okay, here goes Square. We'll wait for L Brands to open back up. We've already, taken a decent amount of money on this one already, including capturing through this break down to 9. It does break 9. It goes to 890 here. So now we have the reason why. So we're going to wait to see when L Brands opens back up. And look, I don't know if that's good news or bad news. It's obviously bad news for the deal, but we're going to wait to see how bad exactly this is. L Brands falling back down. Remember, L Brands, you guys can look it up. Victoria's Secret, so on and so forth. They do have some big titles and big brands ahead of them. So lots to talk about with L Brands right there. And by the way, guys, Square now at day's high. And you can see here, guys, we are long off this break, still holding. I may just tap this out now. We're approaching $60. So that's not a bad level. I do like to take stocks out as we get closer and closer to these even dollar levels. So I'm going to put an order 59.80 or so to get out. That's basically the high of the day. We're at it right now. We'll see if we can't get out of Square for this clean $1.25 winner and just keep the party going.
Yeah, we try to give a little bit of everything for you guys, and that's why it is a bit of a party. We'll drop the disco ball for that. And that's why we're going to jump into something that I know a couple of you guys were talking about, and that was whiting. I only have 10% left. You can see us aggressively getting out here at our target range. And I told you guys 58 cents. Here's why. It was just basically the opening range high. It was then a breakout and support level on the way up. This is why on the way back in, I'm going to be taking profit at that price. So it gives you a nice entry when it reverses trend. You take some out in front of VWAP in case it bounces. Once it flushes, you wait a little bit to sustain that move and then catch a bigger home run type of a trade. So that's a structure that I'm working with on something like this as a small cap. It's sort of the reverse play that BNTX was. The principle is exactly the same. The difference is I'm not exactly a bull when it comes to whiting, so I'm holding through VWAP for that trade almost every single time, because when that comes in, I love what the sellers do, and they like to drag it down. So as much as we're up 60%, this always gives you a fantastic short. You just got to wait for it.
Yeah, good man there, Jarhead. Nice trade there, taking that Square with us as well. So nice little trade there. Yeah, someone said about, man, I drink a lot of coffee, but realistically, this is my second cup. So, is it a lot? Yes, but I hate cold coffee. Put it in the chat what your guys' opinion is on cold coffee. It really sucks. So I sometimes don't even decide to drink the rest. I don't even drink that.
If anybody likes cold coffee, I don't know what to say to that. Well,
we're going to find out. I know a lot of people like cold coffee. So you're going to say something to some people soon, Neil. Okay, here we we go, guys. Not really much happening right now. Netflix is still bouncing around. This is right where we're in. So it has come all the way back to, hey, what is this, VWAP? All the way back down to VWAP right there as we're going, guys. So we will wait on Netflix to see if it breaks 423.50 or so. We're going to probably get out of this one very, very soon. Look, we tried on Netflix. We had a $5 winner. It looks like we'll take a $1 loser on it. So we give back some of the money that we made on Netflix. But again, if we zoom out on our trade, you can see here, short initially, we were really hoping that this one would continue to flush down. We left some money on the table there as well. This is why you don't have to follow. I would follow the ins that sometimes I'm giving you guys. But, again, this is why we don't give exactly how much money everybody's making, because everybody has different outs, man. Like if you have 500 shares here and you're in the money $5, you probably take this out for that $5 winner. But if you're a little less, maybe you hold it, right? So that's the thing. So you got to watch out. Trade your book. We hear some people talking about $15,000. Could you trade that? I mean, some of the names there, if you make $3 and you have like 10 shares, it's still $30. You can start to build your account up like that, guys. So depending on how you're trading, I would say you could follow us along no matter what. The only thing is, we trade here direct market access. So it's not retail, right? And so the thing about it is we don't pay anything per trade. We actually make money when we're adding liquidity. So every time I get into a position, that's normally me removing liquidity. So we'll pay, roughly $2 to $3, $4 per 1,000 shares, depending on how we get in. But then when we get out, we make about half of that back, if not a little bit more. So there is some little discrepancies there on why we make so many trades. And today I've taken, we won't do a guess today, 9, again, I'm not as much money as I was yesterday, but it's close. I've only made 95 fills today. So
how is there ever a day in which I have more fills than you, Sean? That's
probably, I don't know. Are you rebate trading maybe? I don't know.
It's actually, I do have one on, but it's actually mostly, probably it's because of USO and Whiting. They've been so actively traded, so that's why I'm up at 115. But you made a really good point that I want to follow up on. Like even if you only have 10, 20K in your account, there's all kinds of styles you can apply it to, whether it's going to be in small caps, you can trade, but certainly even if you're making some longer hold trades in some of the more expensive names, you can do it with smaller amounts of shares. You just have to find that risk pocket for you. We try to cover as many symbols as we can, as many styles we can. We're not going to get it all. We hope there's a little bit of something for everybody. And with that in mind, Brendan, what do you have for us?
Another earnings. If you like the earnings plays, guys, Kimberly-Clark reported it was pretty muted in the pre-market. That's why we didn't really pay much attention to it. Did give you a little bit of a trade down to this level from over here in the pre-market yesterday. It looks like support around 137, but nice little bounce there. We're setting up to maybe break higher above this 139.20 area for KMB, guys.
Yeah, I'm just noticing here. Try to find something happening in this marketplace. I mean,
halting on L brands over and over again is always worth
look at L brands.
Actually, Sean, it just halted to the upside here, so it's worth noting. It is another volatility halt, but this one up. I thought maybe it'd go to 8. That was that level we're looking at. It looks like it turned here at 890. So if it's going to be a play back to the upside, I think at some point you can take a shot at it. If it can hold above this halt price, which looks like it's going to be 957 when it opens back up, if we can hold that level, it might be good for a first long. I wanted it to make a bottom before I took a shot, though.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We did trade that L brands, and what I was looking at here is just to give you guys an example. Like, I would be loving, this is why I only have 95 fills, but we're still monstrous today. AMD was huge for us. Netflix continues to be huge. I don't need to tell you guys about Square. You're already on that one. That's $1 in the money for me as well. And NVIDIA was one of the best trades. I'll show you that one in a minute if you're just joining us as well. But hit that subscribe button if you are just joining us, because we're trying to get this not TV show, I guess is over the air here, YouTube show going. Look at Microsoft, guys. You want to talk about some I don't know, concentration here. 172.20, we're just in this range here. 172.20 down to 171.20. So we're in this dollar range for about a good hour here. So it's putting me to sleep. So we have to look somewhere else. I mean, the market's really trying to break through.
Let me make a correction here. That L Brands is actually a news halt. They're waiting for additional information once again. So hands off what I just said there. You probably want to at least digest what that is going to be before you dive back in. I still kind of like the idea that once it's made a bit of a bottom on a flush like that, you want to take an opportunity before that long if we can hold that previous halt price. I like that setup, but we're waiting on that news. Brendan, what do you have?
It was actually that story we mentioned already. They breached the contract, so that's been that's been halted for a few minutes now. But yeah, it was about that Sycamore Partners thinks they actually were in breach of the contract that they signed for Victoria's Secret on L Brands, guys.
Okay, so yeah, back on here. Once we open back up, I think we can start playing that around that closing price, that halt price at 957. You have a bottom point at 890. If we can hold above that 57-ish range, you don't want to get too tight with your levels there on a name like that. But I want to get you guys back to INO. I know if you guys were watching this one. Once again, having all kinds of trouble following through when it breaks the top. And when I see this, at some point I'm going to dig into a short trade. I have stayed away from this one since the open after going 0 for 1. Way too early on this trade. I should have been waiting for pullbacks instead of trying to catch it on the way up. Rectified that problem, and now I'm looking for the shorts. It's held 1, 2, 3 times, slightly higher. Top is 1130, and once we get a slide down here, maybe a break of 1115 or so, I'll jump in using the high of the day as my short. It is, we're at that midday point, or at least close enough to it, that I am looking for some pullbacks on high flyers. INO has had trouble carrying through, so a VWAP retracement that we're 2 for 2 on already. I'm going to put it on here in INO.
Okay, yeah, good look there. I know you guys liking that one. That is for sure. Just an update on Square. We just tweeted it out, and yeah. The crazy animation continues here, flossing that one off. We took it out at 59 there. I just thought maybe we would break this 50. We didn't, but we're now up to 69. So a nice little clean, almost $1 on this one. We were long at 69. We get out there at 59.90. There it comes all the way back to the upside here. So we teased you guys. Valeria going to be taking questions as we go throughout the day, and she has another one at the board for us right now. What's up, Valeria?
Hey guys, first of all, welcome everyone who just joined us. If you're passionate about trading, you're at the right place in the right time. And yes guys, as I said before, I'm picking one question every day, the one that I like the most, and ask it directly to traders. Well, first of all, was a lot of questions about what's VWAP again and other trading stuff. So guys, I remind you that we are preparing educational series for you. Stay tuned and of course subscribe so you don't miss. We'll be explaining everything, VWAP, how to trade, a platform. So stay tuned, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And here goes the question I like the most today. So Neil and Sean, could you please tell us how two of you started to trading, guys?
I'm going to let Sean start with this answer because I know exactly how it goes. But sorry, I just reversed along on that little break in INO for a quick little scalp. So again, I did prefer the short on that trade, so we'll get away from it. My story is an interesting one, only because I was at the bar. We were watching, I remember this very, very clearly, watching a Maple Leafs playoff game. And Sean, who I've known since high school, by the way, a bunch of our friends were talking about what they were doing. And at the time, Sean was working at a trading company. He'd started trading, I think, maybe just a couple of months before. It sounded very, very cool. So I said, hey, look, you know what? I want to give it a shot, too. Think you can get me in. And the rest is a bit of history. Probably a little more interesting to see how you got into it there, Sean. I'm not going to say how many years ago.
Yeah, well, you guys, if you want to guess Neil's age, you can put it in the chat there, and we'll do some fireworks with Valeria on that one. But he said we met in high school. That is correct. But no, look, I saw a job posting for this prop firm out of university, and I did finance here at Wilfrid Laurier in Waterloo. So it's about 2 hours, I mean, give or take how fast you drive. Let's call it an hour and a half outside of Toronto here. Saw a job posting for this prop firm, threw my name into the hat, and was able to make $6 grand at the time. Was pretty good in my very first month of trading right out of school. And after that, the rest was history. And yeah, I knew Neil was not really doing too much there, like he just mentioned. And
I literally just graduated.
Yeah, exactly. And
from Waterloo, which is better than Laurier.
Yeah, not even close. So then we have
rankings, baby.
Then I started to do that, and the rest, obviously, now, guys, is history. I've traveled all over the world with this prop firm, opened up offices, and trained thousands of traders, and now we look to do the same for you guys. So there we go, guys. That's the story, and hopefully a successful one. And look, hopefully you guys also have success there as well. So we'll see. Hopefully you like the show, and just keep joining us every day, and we'll answer questions like that. Good job, Valeria.
Sean, I saw somebody say in there, I don't know whether they're referring to wanting to be trading on a prop firm, like how do they get in? And certainly Day Trade the World. There's offices all over the world. I don't even remember how many it is right now. I'm sure it's over 200, and you can look into that if you're interested in trading. The floor behind us obviously is usually full. Of course, with what's going on with COVID-19, and we've had to take a step back, and we have a few people trading remotely. Outside of that, it's just here, us doing our distancing, doing our part. But there is that opportunity. DTTW, I know Valeria will probably put that information in. If you are interested, just ask a few questions, anything you want, we'll give you the answer.
Yeah, exactly. There we go, guys. Yeah, Sean gonna hook us all up. Yeah, you know what, why not? G1, you guys can find us on Twitter there. Send me a message, guys. Follow me on Twitter. Send me a message and I'll give you some more details how you could get hooked up with trading as well. So at Trader TV, Sean, all of us also have that. So follow me on Twitter. I will personally answer all of your messages there. So yeah, that's how it goes. Okay, guys, right now the only position I have on is Netflix. It's just bouncing around. I'm not out yet. We're waiting for 423.57. We do have Jeff Foster coming from TMX very soon to deal with any questions that we may have. If you do have any questions right now that you want to ask Jeff about market structure, anything in the TMX, put it in the chat here. I know Brendan has a bunch of questions lined up for Jeff already, but maybe something comes through that we can ask him. How do you think about that idea, Brendan?
Yeah, absolutely. Coming up at 11:50, guys. Jeff Foster from the TMX here in Toronto. I want to mention this one a little bit late to the party here today. WTER, a little teeny tiny water purification company, 103 all morning long, doing absolutely nothing, and then a huge buyer took this thing up to 122. They came out and said their March sales quadrupled any month they've ever had before. So WTER 15% to the upside, guys.
That looks, I mean...
Yeah, I never heard of that one.
Yeah, I don't know the name here. I'm looking at it. Very, very whippy action, but again, it's only a dollar stock, so this chart's going to be a little bit misleading. You do get a 10% move to the upside. Not the cleanest look here, especially with the trailing off volume lately. I feel like with some of these names, you really want to be getting in a little bit earlier when it's a little bit more active, especially if you're looking for something that you can scale. When you're looking at smaller names, I do prefer ones that are going to be more actively traded, like a Whiting here. Someone was asking about this one. It just failed to get back to our original entry point there at 70, so we're hanging around VWAP. I'm only going to either add directly in front of that 72.50 that we liked before, or it's going to have to break back below VWAP, and then I'll try shorting again to continue that trend and maybe even break through 58 this time and get down to 50. One thing to keep in mind, I'm going to show you, because we haven't talked about it for a little bit, crude oil futures here, guys, still up 10%. It is actually holding a very, very slight base here at 14 even, so there is a bit of a buyer here at $14 a barrel that you're going to want to watch out for. If we get any kind of a bounce through there and you're shorting Whiting, yeah, you're going to want to watch out for that. So if we get to 15, all bets are off. Probably get out of that trade in Whiting, regardless of what happens at 72.50. Whiting, a WLL, we'll have to look at that one for myself as well. But a shout out to at It's Airplane Jane messaging me as we speak. So that's a good one there. Okay, guys, we're just looking here. Netflix, we did get out of that one, and I just did want to talk about it quickly. I talked about it when Kevin asked for my opinion on this one. I said if we keep breaking 430 here, but we never broke 430. So Netflix, you can see there, this is first half of our trade. This is 1-2. So in the first 2 minutes, we take out about a $2.30 winner from here to here. And then as you look, this is about a 97-cent loser. So on this trade, unfortunately, I hate taking 40 minutes for a trade. I mean, that's unbelievably long. But we net out $1 on Netflix. Boo-hoo. We could have netted out 6 or 7 if we take out the top, and I gave it back, so that's why this is me walking. Here's my Netflix, and bang, we fall right back into the hole, but that's okay. Netflix, we've absolutely crushed today, taking out multiple dollars on this one on earnings day. I love trading these big cap names. I hope you guys are having fun with me and Neil, Brendan, Valeria as well. Shout out to our production team, world class, probably the best you'll find. So yeah, you better believe
Rob
it.
And Lucas there.
Sean, you mentioned the bigger names there. Walmart, a popular one, obviously, and it's been a strong one today, getting a nice bottom off 129, retesting this sort of opening range or pre-market top here at 131. Someone was talking about shorting it. I wanted to actually test the high a little bit tighter here before I would jump into that. It's such a great bounce off of VWAP, and it is an upward trend here that we're looking at. It's up on the day. The market is up on the day. So I'd be actually thinking about a pullback long at VWAP 130, or it has to test and fail right at that 131 mark before I'm going to like it to the short side. So to answer your question, I'm not going to be shorting it up here. I don't like that necessarily on Walmart. I'm probably going to try to buy this dip if it gets to 130.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just telling Airplane Jane that I can't get back to her when I'm on the show. Shout out on the show. There we go. Okay, see ya. So there you guys go. I'm answering messages right now on the air live. So hit me up on Twitter, and I'll be doing that for you guys as well. So there we go, guys. Right now, that was my Netflix trade. I don't have actually anything on. Let's check back on Square. Okay, that's a good trade there. Our out is right here, 59.50. I did want to talk about my NVIDIA trade. This is probably the trade that, honestly, I'm most proud of maybe today. I did like that Netflix trade early on, but if we could have a trade of the day, this one is a nice one. You can see in twice, averaged in here, and maybe I can blow this. I can't blow it up anymore because I have these prints down here, but in here, 281. It dips down against us a little bit. We take about a 50-cent average. Then it blows up to the upside here. We take $1.50 on that first one. Then we take $3 here. $2 here. So $1.25, then $2 here. And this is why I like it. It's basically right at the top of the day. We forego about 40 cents here on our NVIDIA trade, but that's okay. And then look at this drop back down. What does VWAP? It's right here. It's 281.25. So we're bouncing around there right here. If we break back above NVIDIA, I don't mind a 282.25 push through here, but we're still up and only up 4.5% right now. So NVIDIA gave back a little bit of what they made or what they lost yesterday, getting some back today.
Yeah, I'm having a look here at UAL. It's still continuing this downward trend, and this is going to be probably the stock that I'm regretting the most. I always talk about being patient. I was not patient with my UAL short. I got stopped out right off of the open. It was a short of 27.40. It was one of the first things I said was I liked United to the south side and then did not follow through on that, especially revisiting it when it took out this range bottom here at 27.20. So one thing you cannot do is get away from a good idea structurally just because your opening trade wasn't a good one. I did preach patience and it did not follow along. If you waited that 5 minutes at the open, exactly, basically at that mark, it put in a high and then started the flush. However, it has now made a bit of a bottom here, guys. Higher low got put in a couple of times at 25.90. I'd look for a break at some point at 26.25. I'm going to put a stop order in just to make sure I don't miss it, whether it happens now, 20 minutes from now, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. We'll keep you guys posted. But it's a nice little retracement idea here. With the market holding the top end, it's already been beaten up 7%. The rest of the space was up. They've taken their pain. We'll see if we can't catch a break at 26.25 and then use this higher low as our out on United Airlines.
Yeah, United Airlines, Delta as well, a few good ones coming through there. Yeah, I did look at NVIDIA, and I should maybe be long very soon on this name. Unfortunately, the VWAP is being influenced by these ticks down here. I have on my other charting platform 282.04 as this VWAP, so it's a little bit up here, so it is kind of justifying this 282 punch. So we are going to wait to see if the market gets going, but we're still up pretty high here. We're near day's high. Europe has closed though, so let's check in with Valeria at the screen.
Hey guys, welcome to European close. Europe closed very positive today. Britain is up 2.3%. Germany is up 1.63%. France is up 1.24%. Italy is up 1.69% and Spain is up 1.15%, while Russia is up 3.12%. That's all for today. Europe is closed. Back to guys.
Thank you very much, Valeria. As you guys saw when we went to some of those numbers and top individual traders by market, we do heavily trade over 60 markets here at Day Trade the World, and Europe is figured prominently in that. So with the European close, I'm going to show you guys the top market for yesterday in London was 24,000. I'll go over the European ones, 20,000 on Germany, 19,000 in Amsterdam, and you go down like Lisbon, Stockholm. We have basically everything you can think of when it comes to equity trading, and then we have futures as well. So Day Trade the World, fantastic place to trade. There's lots of profitability. It's not just the U.S. markets, even though that's where the fun is a lot of times. That's where you see us focus mainly. We also will have Arun from time to time. He's on the floor here as our resident expert on the future. So I actually just mentioned in the chat that I might take a bit of a teaser trade. And what I mean by that in the UAL is not wait for it to make the range break at 26.25. I can just get in maybe like a quarter or half what we want to get in front of that low of the day, or the higher low at least, and just pick it right here, get ourselves a better average price. The futures are holding up here with a little bit of strength. The NASDAQ at that 8,600 mark. The ES as well not falling off. So we can start this one here a little bit early on United Airlines.
Yeah, we have, it's funny that you just mentioned that. Yeah, no teaser trade here. I just did punch long and a little bit of shares here. 1031 on AAL. So we have the bottom here, 1025. I can use that as my stop, but right now I'm long 1031. So if you've missed some of my trades before, I hope this one can go for us as well. But long right now, AAL 1031 and looking to go higher now. Look, because we can scalp out, I could take this out, but we're going to wait to see if we can get above this. There's a little bit of garbage up here. This is what I kind of call these consolidation spots here. We need to get above 1040. So I will slip some out if we can get in the 1037 range. But until then, we'll wait. But AAL, I like it right here. 1031 we're long as we tick above 1033. So a couple pennies here. Again, you trade 4,000 shares right now. This is a clean $200 for you. So we're going to wait to see here. 1037 will be some of my outs, and then we'll get out the rest here. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the camera. I just keep looking at these charts. 1040, 1037 or so will be our out. Right now, AAL, some serious risk taken. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and still have that WLL, guys. I talked about where you wanted to get it. It actually has now gone below that VWAP, so doesn't get to 70. That would have been an entry point there. Now that it's holding below, doing some volume, now I'm going to re-enter the trade. Now, of course, we were shorting at 69.5, and now we're going to short at 62. What that means is we're going to have a different stop. Not going to give 62s all the way to 72.5. These ones I'm going to give to about this little 65, 66 range, as we work into an average price around that 60 to 63 mark, guys. So once again, we're just playing the trend back in. Whiting is up 60%, but as you can see, since about 1030, it's been all downtrend. That's what we made money on first, and we're going to jump back in here.
And guys, I mean, look, we talk about this all the time, and then we explode the money. Because here we go, guys. We're getting out at 1037 right now. Just like we said, look at this trade once again on AAL. So out some 36s, out some 37s there. And now we'll hold. We're still long 31s. So actually, no. See this? Oh, good. We got a good price. 30.50 we're long. We're long 30.5 there. So a nice little trade, even better than we thought as I look. Come on, AAL. Let's go, baby. We're sitting here at 37. I'm actually going to cancel my 37s. Maybe we get back. I mean, I got some out already, but we'll wait to see if we can break through 41 here on AAL. Your boy just has another one. So there's a catapult for you guys again there. 38, nice little clean 7 cents in about 3 minutes. So you can look at some of these other stocks. You need to find ones that are moving here. 36 million shares. We got it again. Confetti time, guys. Let's go.
Someone has asked here, what's the time frame for these trades? I had BNXT for an hour. I had some USO trades I had half out in a matter of seconds. So I mean, when you have direct market access, you can kind of expand your horizons a little bit. I think if you don't, you're probably only swing trading and holding for a longer time frame. We do a little bit of everything here, so we certainly have the ability to do that, and that's why we're so flexible. If you can be, it allows for more styles of trading, and then a little bit more consistent performance. When some things are working and some things aren't, you have a lot of things in your toolbox. Brendan, what do you got for us, bud?
And a little one moving, guys. Veristem here, VSTM, another biopharmaceutical company, just popped up on a screener. Broke their highs here on a huge volume spike. So VSTM 9.5% today. No real significant news, but this is 52-week highs for VSTM, guys.
Thank you very much, Brennan. And we're about to get the rest of our shares in. Well, not the rest of us, but at least more shares in if we can get that break on UAL. I took that position in front of that high of the day, of course, telling you that we made some higher lows as we put it in. Been beaten up down 6% on the session with the rest of the space. Was faring much better, at least at the open. I'm looking to add at 26.25 on that little break. Otherwise, we'll add in front of 26 even, so it'll give an average price in that 26.10 to 15 range, which is what we have now at 09. And then we're looking for a VWAP retrace. I mean, again, if the futures break the highs, we might have to get a little bit more aggressive if the market starts going and gets above that 2% mark on the ES. Otherwise, we're going to stick to our structure and hang on for a VWAP retracement. And
guys, this is why it's a stock picker's market. We keep saying that. You know, AAL is only a $10 stock, and we just took 12 cents there on this. So you got to sort of pick your poison here. Look at what's going on here. Nice little in at 31. We just taken some out at 40s, 41s as well to go to the top side. This is exactly the trade I get. I can't do this any better for you guys. I went long 1030. I said we'd go up to this garbage right here, 1040. That's exactly where we are out, and now we're going higher. Let's see if we can test this 1050, but hey, you know, you guys give the love, we give the love right back. Here's a bunch of winners for you coming through. Neil, not a bad one here on AAL.
Yeah, I mean, I like these bottoms that got put in, and as I mentioned here, I talk about the futures, I should probably show them to you what we're mentioning here. And this is the NASDAQ brushing on those highs. So when you have this kind of a long, on a stock it's made a bottom like AAL, UAL, some of these names, you get a breakthrough here, and the ES has already gone through the top. If NQ can follow suit, that's the NASDAQ. You're going to have a fantastic place where you got those longs. When it comes to my short and Whiting, as you can see, I have on 66 is short, and it's down at 63. I care more about what happens in crude oil as opposed to what's happening in the ES or the NASDAQ futures.
Yeah, thanks, John, Grace, Sammy, V Gaming there, guys. We're loving that. And no problem. I mean, like I said, we're here to help you guys, give you guys the winners, and sort of, help us all make a little bit of money, because your boy definitely is, as we go perfect right here. I mean, I don't know how much better this can be on AAL here. We take that trade at 10:30, and now we're up to 10:40, exactly what we thought. I mean, I'll take this winner all day long at 11:43. I see my guy, Jeff Foster from TMX Group. He's getting locked and loaded right now. One of the smartest guys there on the street as far as Toronto markets are concerned and Canadian market structure. So shout out to Jeff Foster and his team over there at TMX. He'll be live in about 5 minutes with Brendan. Any questions, hit us up. But right now, guys, American Airlines, bang, hit the air horn for you. We have the winners. Everything is so profitable for us today. I can throw up that board. Maybe we'll do that after, but I'm just working right now with AAL. This is my big trade right now, the only trade I have on actually, and it's a nice, you might not think like 10, 12 pennies is decent, but on this move at this time of day, it's only, 10 pennies is basically the most it's moved in over an hour. So we have top to bottom here with only 25s as my risk spot. So this is what we're talking about. I risked 5 pennies on this 10:30 long and now start cashing out 12 to the upside. Not too bad, eh, Brendan?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, so many opportunities today right across the board. Another one we mentioned really early on this morning, Pinterest, still going. Just broke new highs on the day once again, guys. 1880, a little bit of a pullback here, but decent volume coming in on that. Also worth mentioning, Albrand still hasn't reopened. No additional news yet, but Albrand still halted, guys.
Thanks a lot. Of course, we do have our guest of the day coming up in 5 minutes. One thing I want to reiterate: look, if you're heavy trading and you can't tune in live, you can always rewind and watch it back. And I suggest you find a way to learn about the markets. If you've never traded Toronto, you can learn something about it here. There are lots of opportunities, especially when it comes to the cannabis space and the energy space, which is very, very active lately, guys. I'm going to bring you guys back to USO. It's continuing to hold its bottom. So at the top, it was like 290, was a big wall. Now look at this here at 260. This is where we got out on our initial flush at 261. Literally got bottom wick here since the open. It traded in the pre-market lower than this. But here is this 261 wall. Another one like this, if it breaks to the upside, I'm taking a long break at 267. You can see that's this range here. If it breaks 260, I'm going to chase the short once again. Just make sure you don't get a massive move in the opposite direction in the price of the futures oil contract. Make sure you got that one up. It's been very, very wild, but a USO setting up once again for a major breakout opportunity.
Yeah, guys, when I see USO, we hit the sleepy sign there. Like Neil said, it needs to break out. I think if it does happen, USO with the volume there, but in a 2 or 3 penny range there, wait for the breakout. That's the kind of consolidation that we always look for. So good call on that one. We're out of 70% now of our AAL. We see this top wick here, 1043. Now it's trying to fade back in. I may dump them all for 5 pennies if it comes back here, 1035 or so, but we are getting ready, like I said, for some Canadian market structure talk. That's coming up very, very soon as well. But AAL, yeah, whatever. If this comes back up, we'll ride it. We'll see if we can get back up to VWAP, because it's up here at 1070, so there is room to go. But we aren't going to let this, you know what, forget it. I only have 30%. We're going to wait for this bottom, so let's let AAL ride. That was fast. See how fast you can change your mind here, guys. But it's been a fantastic show here. I'm getting a little exhausted. We're getting ready to be the end of it. Look, guys, merchandise time. If you guys want us to sell some merch, we need 10,000 subs. If you're just joining us for the first time, merch it up. That's a full water bottle right there. I don't know if we'll be
hydrate, my friend. Hydrate. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hydrating.
guys, I'm going to slap my stop on UAL. I'm going to show you why here. We have direct market access, so I can look at the level too. And there, I was using 25.90, and I'm counter trend, but a massive buyer here at 26.01. I'll maybe give it a few pennies past that. If it breaks that and gets maybe to 95 or so, I want to use 90 as a bit of a base here and maybe get out a little bit in front of it because, again, this has been the weaker of the names. So I like the risk to reward. It's at least 5-1, but I'm still going to give it a tight stop because I'm not with the trend on United Airlines.
Yeah, and that's kind of some of the stuff that we're talking about there. Like Neil went long basically at the same time we took this AAL. So sometimes it's just a matter of the stock, right? Now we're fading back down. You see a couple ticks here. I've got out here 1036 and 1037 on AAL. Okay, here it comes back up. So that's nice to see. So we're out of a little bit more. We now have about 25% of our position left on, and it's a ho-hum little spot here. I did want to talk a little bit here on some Canadian names. Some of the big ones lately. Royal Bank has been trading great. We talked about some closing trades yesterday. Some of the banks were huge on the market close and balance yesterday. If you're going to see here, look at this move down. Some of these banks yesterday came as market on close sells. So look at this move. Jeff can talk a little bit about this, maybe he will, but at 340, the imbalances come out and we noticed they were all sells. So all the way back down. So if you guys want to, make sure you can find out. I believe they still disseminate the market on close data for free on their website, so you guys can all see that. Big liquidity event, guys. Over 6 million shares there. Was it 6 million or 600,000? Looks like 6 million shares there maybe at the close, but we'll double check that number. Big time trades happening on the TSX. Great market to trade with, and we do have Jeff coming in a matter of minutes now.
Yeah, and I want to update you guys on Whiting. So once again, and I talked about where you wanted to reload and how you wanted to do it to the south side. And it's nothing against the stock that is up 60%. Some of you guys talk about how can you be long UA or UAL or how can you be short Whiting when it's up 60%. That's because I'm just going to play the trend as a day trader. So I reload in front of VWAP here. Our average price is now 65.5 or so. We're looking for that flush past 58, which was our level before. So I'll get some out in front of 58, but I'm looking to hold this one for a flush down to 50. Again, targeting 10 to 15 pennies on a trade. I think that's worthwhile. We can get a little bit more than that here if we can take some shares out in front of 58 and then hang on for dear life for a bigger flush. But we teed it up, waited patiently, and now we're excited for our guest of the day with Brendan Wickens.
Hey guys, yeah, thanks very much. Very happy to have Jeff Foster, Director of Equity Markets over at the TMX Group, back with us today to touch base with him on how the past couple of weeks have gone as far as volumes are concerned. Obviously, we had a huge move down in the market overall. We're kind of consolidating now after a decent move back to the upside. Good to have you back on the show, Jeff. I mean, a busy day once again. We're going to start things off in the energy space today. Hard not to after the huge moves we've seen in oil prices. Obviously, a lot of the Canadian listed companies being affected by this as well. How have things been overall as far as volumes? I can only imagine they're off the chart when it comes to the energy group, but tell us a little bit about how trading has been in the energy space over the past couple of days.
Hey, well, thanks for having me on again. It's always great to see you guys. Caught a little bit of the show just before this, and I love the energy. The real question is, how do I get some Trader TV swag? I think that's what I'm looking for right now. To your questions, the energy sector has been pretty crazy. If we looked at overall volume today, we're up about 12% in the oil and gas sector, also up about 31% in the ETF sector. And that's because we see a lot of trading happening on some of our oil-based ETFs, HOU, XEG, and those are really kicking up and getting going. It's no surprise that overall volumes have been elevated over the last month. That comes along with the elevated volatility. Oil and gas is no different. We've seen a lot of movement linked to the volatility in oil, and we think that will continue. It's leaking in, like I say, very interestingly to our exchange traded products, and we've seen a lot of movement there as well. And that's across the board. So that's on TSX, that's on TSX Venture. We're seeing that also on our alpha market, and interestingly enough, on TSX Dark as well, where for the last 3 days, HOU has been by far the highest volume traded name.
That's, I mean, a great point to make, and I want to get to some of the dark volumes. Jeff brought along some visuals for us today to kind of emphasize this this topic, in fact. But interesting to see that kind of return or shift back to the dark marketplace, especially when it comes to the energy names and more specifically ETFs. Is this a retail event or more retail volume coming in on the dark side, or is it just right across the board, Jeff?
We're seeing this right across the board. Certain times during this this volatility, we've been able to link it more closely back to retail. This seeing it pretty evenly across the board. We're seeing institutional, retail, and also some proprietary. If we look at the ETFs, of course, that's more linked to some of our retail clients. But I think this is a markets event, and it's not necessarily constrained to any participants or stakeholders.
And in the ETF space, is this, I mean, talk a little bit about, the increase, I guess, as far as the dark side is concerned on the ETF side, because it's something that, we were mentioning it earlier in the show today. We don't really talk about a lot as far as the sector ETFs are concerned. So obviously a big spike when it comes to volume.
Yeah, for sure. ETFs make up around 10% of our overall trading volume and around 15 to 20% of our dark trading volume. It's generally concentrated in the top 10 ETFs by volume. So no surprise to see HOU in there. It's generally in our top 10 anyways. It's a great way to jump the queue, get in front of a pretty busy trading day and get some quality executions. We're also seeing, times where the spread is more than one tick wide. So that's a great opportunity as well for some minimum price improvement or dark limit orders in there.
So let's jump into some of these graphics here, Jeff, that you brought along to kind of emphasize this point that we're trying to make here. March volumes, the first one that we'll show, going to be quite impressive as far as the dark volume is concerned. Why don't you talk us through this one?
Well, this is overall volume. Everything's spiking up. This tracks well along with VIX and overall volatility. We're seeing gains across the board in volume as well as market share for TSX Alpha and TSX Dark. We were as high as 75-76% in terms of market share, and volumes obviously skyrocketed. It was a very busy time, and when we look to the main drivers, I would say overall, if we had to look thematically, it was mostly retail. A very busy time for retail trading. And then we had a lot of proprietary trading as people look to intermediate and find, because it's challenging to find during these times of high volatility, a natural buyer and seller, which of course is the ultimate, what we're always looking to do, because people's time horizons are different. And I think there was a lot of quality liquidity provision being done. And so, any of your clients out there, anyone listening to the show, we'd like to thank everyone for that. Definitely a busy time, very hectic, and at the same time, a little bit of fun.
And the next one I want to get to here as well, kind of highlighting some of the dark benefits, that or a trader will or an investor will get trading in the dark. So we'll throw this one up here. Tell us about this one. Can we get that slide there, guys? There we go.
There we go, yeah. So it's just going through what we're seeing as the benefits for trading on TSX Dark. A lot of price improvement, lower fees than our competitors. There are a lot of pluses when you look at it from a real market structure perspective. In terms of the money you're saving, the money is being saved by the other side as well. This is something that I think is still developing in the Canadian market and has been a real growth area for us. We grew about 6%. In terms of the overall share of the dark market in Canada in March. Now we're around 31% of overall dark trading. And we're excited about it. We think there's still room to grow. This is sort of growing the overall pie and as well as taking from our competitors such as MatchNow.
Let's talk a little bit about volatility. Obviously, throughout the month of March, we saw, increased volatility, crazy markets. The spreads on the TMX, maintaining a very, very respectable rate. We have another graphic to back this up. Jeff, tell us how, throughout the volatile period, spreads were affected on the TMX.
Yeah, spreads were affected. This shouldn't be a shock to anyone. Volatility went through the roof. You're seeing VIX up into the 70s and a lot of uncertainty, right? So we look at spreads and we look at the great work that some of our market makers and RTs did to keep them in line. As these spreads if you removed that group of our official market makers, our registered traders, would be much wider and much higher. Are following that volatility. So what this does is provides opportunity for people to improve the quote and to provide liquidity in between the quotes with dark orders. So I think it's just sort of a real big change, as we've seen some really tight spreads historically for the last couple of years with the absence of this volatility. And we want to make sure we highlight this, number one, to show the great work done by our registered traders and market makers. And number two, to say that there is opportunity to jump in there, improve the quote, or trade inside the quote by providing price improving liquidity on TSX Dark.
Sean teed it up beautifully coming into the segment, talking a little bit about the closing auctions. A lot of guys here obviously relying on that liquidity to get out of positions at the end of the day and also maybe execute trades at the beginning of the day. Tell us a little bit about how volumes were affected on both the opening and closing auctions throughout that crazy period through March.
No, for sure. If we look at the market on close, this is really an extension of what we've been seeing over the last year or two, where we're seeing an increased liquidity event at the end of the day. And we call it a true liquidity event. I think Sean named it the same, as we're seeing it become 10, 15% of the overall volume. And people are really looking to that in order to either get out of position at the close or to really upsize their position. So we see a lot of activity from an institutional perspective, people moving real size and looking for that liquidity event as it is becoming a very meaningful part of the overall trading volume. The market on open's a little bit different. It did increase, not quite as much. So the market on close pretty much doubled, where we saw the market on open move up around 67% month over month. And it's more retail focused. So you have the retail trader who comes home from work, saw something in the news and decides they want to buy company XYZ, and they put that in overnight. It sits in the blotter and is entered into the open, and they get filled at the opening print. Still a great liquidity event, but different, where the close is a little bit more institutional focused. The open is more retail focused. So we're seeing both increase, which isn't shocking. Like I say, we've seen increases across the board, and both are becoming even more and more important parts of the day.
Given the current situation that the entire world is dealing with, Jeff, when it comes to the coronavirus outbreak, obviously not a lot of companies may be focusing right now on going public or thinking about an IPO even at this point. Tell us how the landscape is shaping up going forward for the remainder of the year when it comes to IPOs.
Yeah, I think it's challenging for sure. There's no way around that. But we have a pretty large pipeline of companies that are already well down the path on venture. So money's in escrow, everything's completed, and those will continue to move forward. We also still have a strong pipeline on TSX. Some things may be on hold for now, but we still think we'll see a strong rebound once things relax a little bit. We continue to see growth in the IT space. We continue to really push internationally, and I think that will continue to shine through over the coming months. So we still expect to see new listings come to market. Might be a little bit delayed, but in no means do we think there'll be a general freeze on people going public and looking for capital for the rest of the year.
Given the situation we're talking about, obviously timelines across the board have been thrown out the window. How have things been as far as challenges that this has created from your side, operationally speaking? And I mean, there's no point, I think, speculating on timelines when we might get back to anything that even remotely comes close to normal. But tell us how things have been as far as operationally speaking goes for the TMX during this period.
Things have been really smooth, actually. We were pretty quick to move to sort of dual sites, locking people down on either site, and then going to full work from home. We operate the markets fully with everyone working from home. Haven't really run into any issues. We give a lot of kudos to our technology team in setting us up properly for our operations folks. And they're doing a great job in maintaining orderly and fair markets from their living rooms and their basements and home offices, wherever they may be. It's a little bit of fun to check in and seeing how everyone's set up individually. But we feel very comfortable with the current setup And we do think that this could continue for a longer period. And given how smoothly things are going, we're in no rush to move back to the office.
Great to hear. Obviously, I mean, this is unprecedented times for everyone. So congratulations to you and your team over there as far as keeping the markets open and operating smoothly. Jeff Foster, Director of Equities over at the TMX Group. Always a pleasure. Come back and see us again.
Thanks so much. Appreciate you having us on. And again, I think this is important. Let's keep people up to date, keep that news coming out, and keep these markets liquid. So thanks so much for all your efforts, and talk soon.
Great stuff. Thanks, Jeff. We'll speak to you again soon. There you go, guys. Jeff Foster from the TMX. Lots of information there, but great information as far as the dark market is considered. Always got to make sure you know where you're sending your order and where you're going to get the best executions. Let's go back to the guys.
Yeah, you can absolutely say that again, Brandon. Learning about those markets and understanding the structure, because if you're going to execute, and especially when you start to leverage up, for you guys that are newbies, we talk about starting on low risk and developing a plan, but eventually you're going to want to be trading multiple markets, access to different types of equities, different styles of trade, which means you have to understand exactly what that market structure is so you can take advantage of some of the things that are going to be in your toolbox. So that's why we bring these types of guests on to you. This is what we're trying to do. I'm going to quickly recap what I have on, because I know we're past 12 o'clock here, and we'll let Sean do exactly the same thing. Still got that reload here that we were talking about in whiting. That's right around this little VWAP. So we reloaded here at 63.5. I want more at 64 and 65, using that same area above VWAP that we had before. I did get some of that target at 58. When that floodgate opens up, it's a 50 mark that we're looking for on a retrace. UAL, I talked about this one long in front of that 26. There was a massive buyer that just stepped in here, and I said, forget this. I'm just going to load up some more shares here, hang on to my core position, but then scalp in and out and take 5-10 cents all day long as they want to prop it up there. So I made some profit doing that, but I'm still holding that core position at 26 for VWAP retracement. Sean, what do you have on?
Just a banger, that's all. AAL here, guys, 1031 long, 1030 half long. I've been getting some out at 47.48. But yeah, you guys have followed us today. Lots of winners. I'm at the highest I've been all day here. The trades just keep coming. Look forward to making this. Follow me on Twitter. I just tweeted this out right here with a little bit of an education spot here. When you have a bottom of 1025 and you like the setup, it seems to be pretty simple to me. So we hammer that, we go long right now, and then get to the top side. Let's hurry up and get this show on the road here. What's up, Valeria?
Yeah, let's go to earnings, guys. Lots and lots of earnings to get to, both aftermarket tonight and before we get going again tomorrow morning. So there's, a little peek at what is to be expected.
Domino?
Okay.
I'll
Domino,
trade them all.
TD. There's a bunch of names. I mean, it's going to be impossible to try and pick out there. I do see a good friend Alcoa there, which usually starts things off. But obviously, you're going to stick to some of the energy names. They've been definitely big. We see the airlines are in play today. I think you stick to what is working primarily for you in these markets, and I'll be jumping back into some USO almost certainly. It's been a fantastic show. Make sure you follow along on Twitter. We'll tweet out some of what we're trading throughout the rest of the day. And Valeria, I believe we've got what day it is today.
Guys, what a great day. Thank you very much for joining us. For all of your likes, by the way, we need just 10 more likes around that to reach 400. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for our channel. We're live every day from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And a lot of interesting and relevant stuff is coming. So subscribe so you won't miss anything. And as usual, I'm saying what national day is today. Well, guys, cities being under lockdown, and the best thing we can do now to stay at home and support those who cannot do that. So today is the National Mother Earth Day. Show your love and support for Earth, guys.
Yeah, my kids have already drawn a few pictures and colored a few Earth Day coloring books and whatnot, so thanks to that, Valeria. Yeah, very important day, obviously. Earth Day loving the coronavirus because it's created a halt in production. If you look at some of the satellite images of Earth right now, it's nice because there's not as much production happening, and it sort of cleared the skies there. But we did take some out of AAL there. Smooth 17 cents on this $10 name. Let's see if it breaks 1050. It's a hold the rest of the day, guys.
Yeah, I got the same thing long in UAL, and a reversal there at Whiting at 63, which is now working in the money for us. Some of you guys were talking about that. Fantastic thing, Earth Day. I mean, ultimately, look, you have to have a good environment. You have to have your health if you want to take advantage of what we like to do here, which is trading, and we have a passion for it, guys. So make sure, like and subscribe every single day. Tune in at 9 o'clock. We give you all the symbols that we're looking at, and then some throughout the day from Brennan. For the entire team here down the line, Valeria doing a fantastic job with our chat, and Sean Katina give a nice little wave there, our good friend, as always, long AAL, along with me here in UAL, and our good friend Brennan Wiggins doing a fantastic job as always, Mr. Professional himself. And for me, Neil Roberts, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is tradertv.live. We'll see you tomorrow.